Do you not know death when you see it, old man? This is my power.
I had no idea that this script existed, and now you must suffer with me. Anyway, starting off, first, my friend, the Holy Ninja. Remove the gag, henchman.
Why? Why does this even exist?
Because Tolkien was in the public domain and John Boorman is clearly insane. That is the only possible reading. Ethan, sorry. Alright, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just advertising. I could be playing some more Pillars of Eternity as a dwarf, but no.
Yep. I am so excited. This is going to be great. I remember telling you a couple bits of this and you were just like, you're kidding me, right? And then I showed you the image and you were like,
Yeah, I know the internet and internet land, and I am not very going to be looking forward to the Rings of Power show. But based on a few things you showed me, yeah, there's no way. Rings of Power has to be above and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me bring in the Johan.
I beg your pardon?
I was expecting the other clip. I was expecting the other. Anyway, yes, they're gonna. Amazon is gonna probably wing it. They're gonna probably, hopefully, gonna be upping this one. And I can't wait.
I honestly just want it to be Rings of Power to be an abysmal trash fire. I know the marketing has already been an abysmal trash fire, but I just kind of want this to be something that just is so bad and everybody hates it. It kind of seems that everybody does. It's got the trailer alone has 1.4 million dislikes compared to only 100K likes.
You know what's so funny? We're on by in a couple days, tomorrow, it will be 3 months until the show comes out, and we don't even have a proper trailer.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, good news. Did you know that they have only the rights to the
oh yeah,
the rights are so limited.
Yeah. They don't have the rights to the book they're gonna be presenting. That's the fun part.
They're basically just looking at the few notes from the main Lord of the Rings book, not granted, the Silmarillion only had one chapter to the Second Age. One chapter. There's a little bit more stuff, but it's compared to most of the Silmarillion. As someone who recently read it, it just gives you the basic information. There's not a lot. There are some more details, but the Silmarillion itself is not really very detailed. So you could, theoretically, right? Rings of Power could be the most creatively freedom show. You can have the most freedom to do whatever you want.
No, you can't. It's not possible anymore. Anyway, it's gonna be about that. I can put a bet down that I can probably put a bingo sheet down and have bingo a lot of times when that show comes out.
Yep. And one last person, we have Mr. Raptor.
Just look. What do you see?
A man. Fucking a horse.
Wow!
Jerry, what did you see? A man fucking a horse?
Yeah, Ninjago, that was from Better Call Saul. If there's any other motivation to invite you to or essentially like prompt you to watch it, it's that.
I don't know. Also, Carl.
Yeah, the most expensive show in history, and they can't even afford to shoot it in New Zealand. Carl Sargis approves.
Indeed.
England.
Wait, they're not gonna do it in New Zealand. Oh my god!
Apparently, they're so cheap that they're not even doing. What are they gonna do? Is green screen all the time?
Of course they're gonna
just do
green
it in
screen.
Europe.
They need.
Like they're probably gonna do it in the same locations as Wheel of Time.
Which isn't that?
Like the Czech Republic.
Why not England? You know.
I don't know. I legit have no idea where they're filming it. I do not care. Well, let's get started. Do you want to alternate line by line?
Sure.
Maybe for like narration, but once we get to characters, we can assign.
Yeah. Okay. A small room cluttered with books. Thin sunshine plays on the desk where an elderly man is bent over his writing. He turns slowly, disturbed and as though disturbed, and peers across his spectacles at the intruding camera. It's J.R.R. Tolkien.
I thought he was gonna for the Bilbo.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even get a scene about like him like, oh, I've discovered this writings of this fantastical journey of the world before our current world. No, it's just here's a camera shot.
Yep. Yep. Also, by the way, to give some context, I should have done this earlier. This is a script that was written in the 1970s. When
3 years before Tolkien.
3 years before Tolkien died. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this killed him.
Yeah.
But
people gave him a heart attack after he read the script.
But in essence, Mr. John Boorman wanted to write the script, and he wrote it. Him and the Saul-Zaentz company had something working with a random studio, and Ralph Bakshi bought the rights to this script so it would never be used.
I respect the man. I respect the man for that.
Even though like Ralph Bakski's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he is insane, and he's insane and too fond of rotoscopes
and and his version of Lord of the Rings is pretty bad.
Yeah, and his artistic vision for like how he would depict all these characters and the setting is just atrocious.
By the way, as I'm reading it, I'm thinking of the Ralph Bakski's versions. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, the really cheap stage play, a shadow puppetry,
And also with the African Indian tribe of masked orcs.
Yeah, that was a weird. Or the Hessian sack wearing monkey.
Yeah, there's different variety of funny looking orcs. You got the one with the horns and furry demons.
Yep. Exit, model of Middle-earth, and an amalgam of locations, night/day. Titles begin. Lord of the Rings. Moving away from the incandescent furnace of boiling lava in the volcanic center of crater Mount Doom. Sulphurous flames rise into a luminous sky. Back further to show a barren, broken location with angry fortifications carved out of the river.
Angry.
Apparently, they're designed to specifically have angry eyebrows.
No. You have to such walk towers. Those orc walk towers from 40K.
But they look happy.
No, they're angry. It's walk.
When your descriptions have personification involved with them.
It is the land of Mordor, the domain of Sauron. Surrounding it all like a barrier reef is a wall of towering height and endless length. Sometimes with battlements, sometimes with linking natural rock formations that it seems to grow out of the desolate, boulder-strewn landscape and itself. Music, heroic yet melancholic, a feeling of nostalgia for the now lost world of Middle-earth with its legends and sagas, songs, and stories. Out of the musics emerges the chorus chanting a lament. The voices belong to children and old men.
Three rings for the Elven King. Look, I'm trying to get into the mood here.
7 for the dwarven lords in their hall of stone.
9 for the mortal men doomed to die.
1. Oh, how are we going to... Okay.
Oh,
1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne.
In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie, 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Yeah, all of a sudden it becomes this happy chanting tune.
In the land of Mordor, where the shadow lies.
Actually, that would be funny, okay? That actually would be hilarious. Just to do that for a skit.
Yeah. The land of Mordor is lit with lightning striking the sky. Dominating the desolate plain between Mount Doom and the Great Wall is a monolithic tower that stretched outwards, rivaling the mountain itself. Above this, the Tower of Sauron.
Now I'm just thinking if the Great Wall is assaulted by giant monsters, and the walls are being protected by China, Han's Chinese warriors.
Or the Hadrian Wall.
The outline of an eye appears, turning its penetrating gaze across the landscape. So wasn't just Peter Jackson who came up with that.
How nice.
I think it's part of... I need to reread the books. I think it is part of the description.
It is part of the description, but it's more metaphorical.
Yeah.
It's not a physical thing. Retreating from Mordor over the wall as the eye fades away across an empty plain, the Pelennor Fields, and onto the fortress city of Minas Tirith and the city of Gondor. Watchful sentries patrol the battlements, fires burn on its outer walls. Minas Tirith is strong and arrogant, but human. It is bruised from long years of war. It is a fine city that has gradually turned itself into a stockade, sacrificing everything to survive. It stares defiantly across the planet, its enemy, Mordor.
What? Hold on, pause. That's not Minas Tirith. That's Osgiliath.
Yeah. Shouldn't Minas Tirith have a lot more resources? It just seems like they're just like scraping up with like whatever they have.
Yeah. One ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them. Moving further and further away from the 2 lands of Mordor and Gondor and across the snowy peaks of the Misty Mountains until a blizzard extinguishes the view. Down on the other side of the mountain range into Melor country. Over the top of the mysterious forest of Fangorn and down into its tangled, twisted depths, and emerging by the dangerous rapids, climbing high again above the silver thread of the Great River, catching a glimpse of Theoden's castle, and over other castles and kingdoms having strange and convoluted shapes, built with arts long forgotten over vast empty plains of grass, over marshes and deserts and canyons, to gardens and palace of Rivendell, home of Elrond and the High Elves. The palace is lit by shafts of dawn, on sunshine that pierced its crystal walls and translucent roofs, that its very substance is light itself. One ring
I
to
love how we're
bring
starting out with Minas Tirith and not the ring, or like essentially talking about like what it's about, because given this context, we don't really know what the ring really does.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. Man, this makes me appreciate the introduction to the Lord of the Rings trilogy a lot better because it took us a couple minutes for us to understand. Okay, here's this ring. There was this battle. This Dark Lord, he's evil. It was very punctual.
Yeah,
in this one, I feel like we're watching a 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, we're just like focusing on things for way too long, and they don't really mean much in the long haul.
Please welcome.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
Ah, that's been a while since I saw that.
Hello, Mr. Vaughn.
Hey, we just done with the opening text, and we made a jaunty tune about the One Ring.
We're not yet there. The title has not yet ended.
By the way, there's no prologue to explain what the ring is and what it does, and why is it so important.
Allow me to explain it for you. All right. So the sun rises to its meridian over the whole land of Middle Earth, and falls away to the west, and dips behind the soft verdant hills of the Shire. The journey across Middle Earth is at the end, and we finally come to rest to looking down the cozy valley of the Shire. A road and a waterfall wind down through it. The title's end.
We just have a long landscape shot. That's it.
Yeah.
So
that's the explanation.
Space Junk. I'm the reason I mentioned we don't know what the ring does is that compared to the movies, you learn how quickly the ring is.
At least you know the stakes about the ring.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that he says a patchwork of neat fields, and he saw that it was Nazi fields.
This is what you get for reading screenshots of old scripts.
Yep. It is late afternoon. The sun rises to its meridian over the whole land of Middle-earth, and then begins to fall, and falls away to the west, and dips beneath the soft, verdant hills of the Shire. The journey across Middle-earth is at an end, and we finally come to a rest, looking down into the cozy valley of the Shire. A road and waterfall all wind down through it. Title's end. It is late afternoon. Lights are twinkling in the cottages of the hobbits. Seen from high up, the Shire is a patchwork of Nazi fields and well-tended gardens.
Well, some hobbits are goose-stepping.
Yeah. One house is a little larger than most and much more boldly lit.
Wait. A house?
Yep. Apparently houses. Apparently, they're doing cottages rather than having them live under hills.
Ooh. That's boring.
You gotta be kidding me. They got that wrong?
Considering what I have shown you, are you surprised?
No. But still, they did. Come on, they picked the most boring option.
Yep. One house.
Well, at least it's boldly lit.
Oh, Johan. We're gonna get to some crazy stuff.
Be sure to get there.
Yep.
Make sure to get the plate ready.
One house is a little bit bigger than most and much more boldly lit. Brightly colored lanterns straight from the trees is in its garden where a party is gathered. The sound of applause, then a voice very distant. Okay.
my dear hobbits, hobbit friends, hobbits of the Shire.
A
Exit-
mellow, walled and cobbled.
Mhm.
Abutting to Bilbo's cottage. It is something between a kitchen garden, a farmyard, and the cloister of a medieval monastery. Arches in the wall let out onto a vegetable patch, an orchard, flower beds, grazing animals. Hanging in the surrounding trees are lanterns and jars of fireflies. The area is teeming with hobbits, a small, plump, jolly folk, done up in their Sunday best. They sit at long tables piled high with food. It is a rustic, Bruhel like atmosphere with a touch of Arcadia. At the head of the top table, an old hobbit, Bilbo, is standing and making a speech. Exaggerated applause, greetings, his unexceptional opening remarks, and he is obliged to repeat them, holding up his hands for silence as overexcited hobbits cheer, clap, and fall off their seats. There is a tone of teasing irony in their behavior.
Okay, so who's going to be the Bilbo and who's going to be the other Hobbit?
Alustra, you be Bilbo, and then
Sure.
Johan, you be the heckler.
The heckler, you mean the hobbit or what?
Hobbit. Oh, like,
All right.
Anyway, Hobbits of the
Heckler.
Shire, my dear people, the Bagginses and the Boffins, the Tooks and the Brandybucks, the Grubs and the Chubs, the Goodbodies and the Proudfoots.
a hobbit jumps up and shouts,
Proud feet, more cheers and laughter.
Today is my 111th birthday. Today I am 11-1.
deafening cheers.
11-1, let's have fun. 11-1, let's have fun.
Bilbo quiets them.
No, it's Bilbo quietens them.
Bilbo quietens them.
Gotta love the old way of saying stuff.
Yep.
Every year I make my little speech. This time I have something to say. Something important to say.
But he doesn't finish the sentence. There is a sudden glow of light over the yard, and then a crackling sound followed by a bang. All heads swing upwards in the same directions. Against the violet evening sky, a red firework explodes in a design depicting the Gothic letter G.
Oh,
Man!
no.
Gandalf is right. Gandalf is here, yes.
Man, the hobbits are really accepting of Gandalf. Usually it's just the children.
It's
Great
fucking
excitement,
Gandalf.
particularly among the younger hobbits.
All look for Gandalf in the direction of the rocket, but a firecracker detonates behind their backs. They start to turn around. Next to Bilbo is a cloud of blue smoke from the firecracker. It clears to reveal a towering figure in a long gray cloak. He wears a thin white beard and his eyes blaze under bushy eyebrows. Looks rather frightening, but the hobbits, far from being intimidated, laugh and squeal with pleasure. Gandalf bows politely to Bilbo, the only hobbit who seems discomforted by Gandalf's presence.
Don't let me interrupt you, Bilbo Baggins. You were about to say something important.
Yep. Ah, wonderful. We have our final guest.
So, what's this? Did someone just say Nazi? Where's that? Where's that?
It was actually a misspelling. It's meant to be neat, but it's blurred out, so it looks a bit like the word Nazi.
Let's see. Trying to see that.
Patchwork of neat fields, but it looks like patchwork of Nazi fields because the A's kind of blurred out.
Patchwork of Let's see. When I look really closely, I can see it says neat. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The A looks like a Z.
Yeah.
What I noticed yesterday, whenever it was you posted this, yesterday, I think it was, the first thing I noticed right off was angry fortifications. I'm like, I didn't know fortifications had feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about
Also,
the
also
It's all about the
Brian,
something.
can you voice Gandalf?
Why is he hissing? What the fuck?
Who, me? You want me to voice Gandalf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Don't
neat.
let me interrupt you.
Let's see. Where are we? Don't let me interrupt you, Bilbo Baggins. You were about to say something important.
The hobbits laughed. They obviously don't believe Bilbo has anything startling to say, and that if he did, he would not spoil the fun by saying it at a party. Gandalf leans down and whispers in Bilbo's ear.
Say it now and get it over with.
Bilbo clears his throat nervously and looks around uncomfortably.
I am sorry to say, I have to leave you. I am going away for a bit. In fact, he glances at Gandalf and forces out the words, for good.
I have to leave now. My planet needs me.
No comment.
No! Shame! Shame!
Well, that explains a
I have
lot.
to leave now. The elves need me.
The hobbits fall silent, stunned by the news. Then some cries of no and shame.
Shame,
Bilbo looks at
shame,
them-
Shame!
outrage.
Bilbo looks at them with a silly, apologetic smile.
Did you say silly apologetic?
Yep.
Carry on, sorry.
I leave everything to my dear nephew, Frodo.
Frodo, a young hobbit, is walking across the yard carrying a birthday cake with 111 candles burning on it. He looks embarrassed at having the mention of his name and sets the cake clumsily on the table.
You see, being 11-1, the time has come.
Whoops, sorry. 11-1, your time has come. Sorry about that.
Yeah. The hobbits are dismayed. More objections are shouted up, but Gandalf mimics and parodies Bilbo's accidental rhyme.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun just now. I got confused.
Oh, you're fine. Some of the hobbits laugh, but there is a sinister, threatening undertone that is very disturbing. A counter chant springs up simultaneously.
Bilbo
Baggins
Baggins is 11-1. The fun
The fun
has
has
only just begun.
begun.
Jesus.
Man, now I'm just imagining the tone, like it. They're repeating it a couple of times, and they get it more and more sinister
No,
sounding.
no. It's like Bilbo Baggins. First it's like Bilbo Bagging. Everyone, it's fun. It has only just begun. Bilbo Baggins. Everyone, the fun has just begun.
And at the end, it's
Bilbo Baggins is 11-1. The fun is only just begun.
What the hell?
No, I feel like this would be like a soldier's march. Bilbo Baggins is 11-1. The fun has only just begun.
it's kind of like a rap.
But
Yeah.
the problem
like
is it
hip-hop.
becomes more sinister. So I'm
Did you-
like, what the hell? Why?
And then,
Did you know that hip?
Sorry, go further.
Sorry about that. Did you know that hip hop and Hobbit both begin with H?
so the hobbits invented hip hop.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that would explain a lot.
Yeah. The objections grew. Hobbits beat on the tables with forks and knives, repeating the chant. To recover their good spirits, Bilbo is very moved by their show of affection for him. He smiles sadly and his eyes fill with tears. He throws an angry look at Gandalf, who stands by his side, unrelenting and implacable.
Oh,
I am
I remember
touched,
that.
dear friends. Perhaps a few days longer. Why be hasty?
They cheer. Gandalf shakes his head sternly, but Bilbo looks back defiantly.
I will. I will stay a little longer. A few months, even a year, or two.
Bilbo is encouraged by the support from the audience, but still keeps a wary eye on Gandalf, who stalks over to the wall and throws a lighted taper up onto the trees overhanging the yard.
Oh my goodness!
Gandalf's an asshole in this.
There's
It's
a
like
lot of dispute between
villain.
Bilbo and Gandalf in this version.
Yeah. A display of fireworks erupts into life, whirling rings of fire and flashing eyes. The hobbits look up in wonder, but Bilbo is frightened. Then an eye larger than the others lights up, and from it bursts a flare in the shape of a paw, clawing over the yard. Bilbo looks anxiously at Gandalf, who wags a warning finger at him.
Man,
Okay,
Then
that just happened.
Then Gandalf tosses a firecracker over his shoulder. He speaks, but no words can be heard over the deafening explosion. But Bilbo reads his lips clearly as Gandalf mouths the words, "The ring." Bilbo looks uneasy. As the fireworks erupt and crackle, Gandalf comes over to him. He takes the hand of a hobbit lady and does a conjuring trick, removing her ring and producing it from his ear. She shrieks in pleasure. The ring.
Oh,
the
no.
ring.
What? No comment.
this
What?
is
These
a convoluted way.
These hobbits kind of view Gandalf kind of like how the Turkmenistans view like Turkmenbashi, where you just allow him to do anything to him.
Oh, Gandalf must get all the tail, I suppose.
No comment.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
My love life
This isn't what Tolkien intended. That's not a Tolkien.
Yeah. Bilbo is even more discomforted. He looks up about him, wild-eyed. For some means of escape from Gandalf's hints and promptings, he signals to the little band and they start to play strange, wild dance music. One instrument is a mixture of bagpipes and a saxophone.
Oh,
Yeah!
a saxophone.
I think Lord of the Rings, I think of a saxophone.
Well, you know what?
Oh yes,
Hobbits didn't
Middle-earth.
just invent. Sorry, Hobbits didn't just invent hip hop. They also invented jazz.
Wait, so does that mean they were gonna cast diverse ethnic hobbits back
Oh
then?
no!
Don't worry, that's already gonna happen. So don't worry.
Little
These
did we
are
know.
the first
Little,
ones.
little did we know that we were actually in the golden age of the Shire. A decade from now, we're going to enter the Depression.
Another something between a fiddle and a ukulele. What?
Ukulele. So they're Hawaiian now?
I guess so. We haven't gotten to the weird bits yet. This is
already bizarre.
Yeah.
We're in what's that? The director who did Doom before
David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch. We're in a Lynchian film now.
Yep. The hobbits start dancing with joyful abandon. Bilbo joins them, escaping Gandalf's censorious gaze.
Oh my god!
Censorious, you mean?
Every adjective they use right next to Gandalf's name, they had to imply some kind of disdain that Gandalf has towards Bilbo.
Well, then again, this Gandalf is a jerk, so...
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone
It kind
know
of
that
reminds me of
Gandalf
John
and-
Harmon in the book, in the Jurassic Park books, to be honest, where he was definitely an asshole.
Pardon me, but Gandalf and Bilbo were rivals in love, but you knew that.
What?
Didn't you know that Gandalf was gay? Idiot.
No, that was Dumbledore. You mistaken Dumbledore for Gandalf.
No. In the new series, Gandalf is going to be gay.
No,
Well, yes.
Well, the funny thing
because we
is-
need a gay wizard, duh.
Well, the funny thing is, Ian McKellen has made multiple Gandalf the Gay jokes throughout in going on interview circuits.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he
Ian
is
McKellen-
gay and he played Gandalf.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And they both begin with she.
Yep. They dance in pairs, but constantly change partners. Bilbo is flushed and happy, but suddenly he sweeps around and he finds himself caught in Gandalf's arms.
Oh, no. I don't like how this is going.
who leads him away in a giddy, twisting dance.
What?
I know,
This is very
Gabe,
suspicious.
they meant to have, like, you know, extreme joy. But, oh my god,
Oh no, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
I know
Yeah.
it gets worse.
He
It
looks
gets
deep
worse.
into Bilbo's eyes, and everything else becomes excluded. A confused whirl of color, a blur of trees, lanterns, and stars.
No.
I don't like this. What have I got myself into?
No.
It's about to get worse.
I
This
know.
is the normal bit.
I
You haven't
know.
gone to the
normal
bed
bits. I thought the normal bits would be
We
more
haven't gotten
normal
to
for
the
some
Arnold
reason.
Barbarian Aragorn threesome.
What?
So,
No.
Oh,
turn.
let's wait with talking about that.
Yeah. Bilbo.
It's your turn to let start. Go. It's Bilbo's turn. Go.
Bilbo?
Von Rooster!
Okay.
Get
I so
on
much
it.
want to stay, but I know it's time to go. Curse all magic rings.
These words fall simultaneously
Yeah,
into the rhythm of the music.
Insert love song here. Shine after shine.
Can you feel the love
Tonight.
Where's all these magical rings? Alright.
All right, Gandalf, you're up.
I know. I'm just waiting for it to.
Yeah.
Give it up then. Before it gnaws you all away.
It gave me a long life,
What a fascinating word you just used, Gandalf.
just drawn out. I feel thin, like butter that's spread over too much bread.
I hate this context.
If you stay, you'll start to fade and fade and fade away. Eke out your years with the elves, dear Bilbo. Time is steady there. It will not stretch you as it does here. I don't know why that's funny.
I mean, the context makes it really funny.
Yeah.
I will go.
The world grows suddenly dark, and Bilbo looks alarmed. He's going to get raped by Gandalf.
Oh!
The music fades, then
Gandalf was
stops,
Genghis Khan the whole time.
as though just deciding to leave was enough to whisk him away from the Shire, so he's teleported out of the Shire.
What?
Somehow.
It's a
okay.
very blatant metaphor, I gotta say.
Okay, never mind. Exit a vegetable and flower garden beyond Bilbo's yard. They have halted abruptly, and Bilbo finds that Gandalf has merely spun him into his back garden, and they are standing amid the cauliflowers. Through an arch, the dancers.
How did you not notice that?
Through an arch, the dancers can be glimpsed applauding the musicians and preparing for the next jig.
And the ring?
Very well, I'll give it to Frodo.
Where is it?
Not sure. I put it down somewhere.
In your pocket.
Bilbo pats his pocket and fishes it out sheepishly.
Well, so it is.
Gandalf holds out his hat, takes off his hat, and holds it out, not wanting to handle it himself. So basically, Gandalf is an old veteran begging for scraps.
I'm gonna.
He's like the clone trooper from Kenobi episode 2.
Yeah.
Put it in there. I'll give it to Frodo. No.
Not it comes with it. I don't like parting with it at all.
Gandalf bristles and he looks menacingly at Bilbo. He crumples. Sorry, it looked like crumpies.
It
Yes,
does
it
look
is
like
Crumpy.
No, it is Crumpies.
He
That
crumpies
doesn't lie.
under the wizard's gaze and drops the ring in the hat. Then he smiles at Gandalf.
Well, it's done. What a relief.
He is suddenly lightheaded, a great burden lifted from him. He looks around the garden with a fond last look, then through the archway at the revelers. He sees Frodo dancing shyly with a buxom hobbit maiden.
This is a romantic moment in the story.
Oh my goodness!
Hobbit maiden is, for some reason, like all caps makes it even funnier.
Oh, wife just gave me that.
And Frodo's dying.
WTF did I just walk
They just
into?
walk into.
Oh no.
That's really
Watched over him,
weird.
Gandalf.
The script killed Tolkien, now it's gonna kill Holy Najato.
No, it's just gonna drive me mad. Soon it's like, oh, this film is not gonna be it wasn't as bad as this.
Yep.
It's
Mr.
gonna be-
Bilbo.
They just call him Bimbo.
Bilbo. No, poor Frodo.
No, I said that.
Oh, poor Frodo watching on Gandalf. And with that, Bilbo skips over to the garden gate and opens it. He turns back to Gandalf.
What fun to be off again on the open road.
A winding path runs away from the gate.
Goodbye for the present, dear Bilbo. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye, Gandalf!
Boy.
Crazily?
Why does it say crazily?
Right? It does say seriously.
You know, this would have been a nice moment, a nice little moment, and then you put it crazily.
What?
He's been smoking too much weed, is born.
Bye!
What? Pardon my...
Bilbo
Sorry.
trips away down the winding path and starts to sing.
The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began, and on and on and on and on and on.
His voice fades off and the path meanders away to join the road which winds through the valley. Or is it a river?
Can we just say that? Okay, I want to bring. I know that this is kind of obvious, but the party scene in Bilbo's Leaving was so much better than Peter Jackson film. Even in the Ralph Bakshis version, because you get the cool moment where he puts on the ring and turns invisible as like a practical joke on his neighbors.
Yeah.
And then you have like the moment where you get the intimidating moment with Gandalf. Well, this one, Gandalf was treated like he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Spoiler!
Excellent courtyard night. The party is over. Only the sad debris of a banquet remains. Frodo is bidding goodbye to his young friends, Sam, Merry, and Pippin. Sam has his arm around a pretty hobbit girl whose sleepy head rests on his shoulder.
Oh,
Oh,
that sounds wholesome.
is she a buxom maiden?
Pretty hobbit girl, I don't know.
No. It's the nice one. It's supposed to be Rosie, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Rosie.
sure it's supposed to be Rosie.
Okay. But she's
Yeah,
kind of
Rosie.
like,
So of course she can't be the buxom lady. She's just pretty.
but she's all capitals like the other one was, so that's good.
I think
Yeah,
part
like
of it is like I think that's just how scripts are written. All the character
Yeah,
names are
it's still amusing though.
It is. They're all smoking pipes from which huge clouds of smoke rise up. They stagger off erratically. Frodo falls back into his chair and slumps on the table, asleep. A goose, pecking at scraps of food, suddenly arches its neck, hissing. It turns this way and that, trying to face an unseen enemy. Frodo jerks awake and stands upright. Okay. Hidden dim in the trees, it is possible to discern the outline of a horse and rider, and hidden by the leaves, its blind skull-like face still and watchful.
Oh, the Nazgul have skulls in this?
And the Nazgul just showed up like.
Oh, that's sudden.
Why weren't they invited to the party?
I don't know. Frodo shudders and gets up. He glances around him anxiously, but sees nothing. He starts towards Bilbo's cottage. Internal. Bilbo's cottage. Night. Gandalf is dozing by the open open hearth fire in the center of the room. The flickering light shows a comfortable room cluttered with the mementos of a traveler. Frodo walks in, red-eyed, and Gandalf awakens, looking up.
Mind if I do Bilbo,
Yeah.
Frodo?
Go for it.
Where's Bilbo?
I think he preferred to slip off quietly. Much the best way. He left this for you.
Gandalf points to the ring, lying on the ledge of the hearth. Frodo sits opposite Gandalf, and between them is the ring. The glowing fire casts a warm, mysterious light.
He's really gone then. The ring. Has he left that? I wonder why.
What do you know about the ring?
I know it was precious to Bilbo. He found it on his adventures with the dwarfs. Is it magic? It makes you disappear when you put it on, doesn't it?
Amongst other things, it's yours. Take it. He did say offhandedly, so.
Gandalf pretends to doze off, but he opens an anxious eye surreptitiously as Frodo's hand stretches out to the ring. Frodo catches him watching and is suddenly reluctant and suspicious, but he picks it up and examines it curiously.
No.
Put it on.
What is happening?
Put it on.
Gandalf.
Quiet.
Why are you trying to get yourself killed?
Frodo becomes excited, but also afraid. He tries to put it on compulsively, repeatedly, but he cannot.
That's not how the ring works.
What?
He is like a child who thrusts his hand at a flame to dare himself, then withdraws it. Gandalf becomes alarmed as Frodo becomes more and more worked up. He tries to stop Frodo, but Frodo pushes away his hand. For a moment, there is a confusion of hands.
No comment.
They're doing a slap fight.
The ring falls onto the ledge. A translate look comes into Frodo's eye.
One to rule them in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
Who taught you this?
Frodo shakes his head. The spell broken.
It just came out.
Frodo looks at the ring with a shudder of disgust and thrusts it at Gandalf.
Here, I don't want it. You have it.
Gandalf shrieks back into his chair.
I don't know where that came from. Carry on, sorry.
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, is it? Father.
Yeah.
I am a powerful wizard, and over me the power of this ring will gain a power still greater and more deadly.
Actually, the first one up here.
Father. Sorry.
You're
No,
fine.
don't tempt me. Power should not be matched with power.
Gandalf tries to rise as if to make a grand speech, but he sinks back into his seat. In the hearth, the flames quiver and leap. Through the heat haze, Gandalf's face distorts. With his index finger, he lectures Frodo. He speaks in the
Because I know it has
slow
milk
and
in here.
intense voice. Sorry, Raptor, what?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay.
I am a powerful wizard, and over me the power of the ring would gain a power still greater and more deadly.
For a moment, it seems that Gandalf, carried away by his intensity, is going to poke his index finger through the ring.
Oh my goodness!
Or that Frodo will slip it on Gandalf's finger. But at the last moment, he clenches his hand into a fist.
If it would do that to you, what would it do it to me? What did it do to Bilbo?
It is only safe with someone simple, like a hobbit, like Bilbo.
Ow! Like me?
Goodness and innocence and pity are the only proof against its power.
Oh! It's...
Oh, this is going to be weird. Okay, the door swings open. Frodo and Gandalf start. Sam and Pippin burst in, followed by Merry. Sam and Pippin are out of breath, unable to talk. Merry, the fat hobbit.
What?
So apparently, so they decided to take out the real Mary and replace this Mary with Fatty.
Yeah. A dark shape, a black horse, a face with no eyes.
Voices the words of out of himself in waves of breath.
Yeah.
My dream. I just awoke from that dream.
Gandalf jumps to his feet.
You probably couldn't hear that, but I just.
Top of the
Black
12.
Riders.
They look at him anxiously, but Gandalf conceals his concern and smiles at them benignly.
Nothing to worry about. Some evil things are abroad. A shadow is passing over the Shire, but maybe it gets itself to go away for a while. You seem amused, Frodo.
Frodo looks unsure. He glances at his friends. This is terrible. This is so bad.
This is really awkward.
What if Gandalf? What if it's
Absolutely
revealed like
horrible.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. There's some evil things abroad. A shadow is passing over the Shire. It may as well be for you to go away so that until the shadows takes over the Shire and kill everyone you love.
Well, you know,
what if it's revealed that Gandalf was the one that actually called the Nazgul over to the Shire? I think that would make a lot more sense now, given his character.
We actually did a parody where Gandalf was evil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I guess they took notes.
Take
this
Sam
this
and
film
Marion.
was going to depict an evil Gandalf, and it never got made. What a shame.
Pretty. Take Sam and Mary and Pippin. You've come into your inheritance today. Celebrate. Take a holiday. Visit Rivendell. Rivendell. It's for lovers. Oh, sorry.
Rivendell's for lovers.
I just keep doing some stupid.
No, that's Lothlorien. That'll make sense later.
Oh, no!
Just wait, it'll make sense later. The Hobbit's faces light up. Pippin, the skinny Hobbit, jumps for joy.
Hooray! The
Well,
two elves.
Okay, so by the way, this would make sense for Sam, and also I would like Raptor to voice Sam.
Yeah,
Okay.
they break into excited chatter. Gandalf looks out the window, searching the yard. A new day is dawning. The hobbits scuttle out the door.
Goodbye, Gandalf!
Gandalf smiles.
You forgot the ring.
Oh, okay.
Frodo runs back and grabs it, forgetting his earlier doubts. He puts the chain around his neck. He shudders for a moment as the ring slips down to his chest.
By the way, I don't know what this ring is for, other than it makes me do some weird speeches. I don't know why this is important.
My people, the sons and daughters of the Shire, he said, this much I vouch, to crush the armies of my enemies, to take the weapons they thought to turn against us.
And remember, don't put it on unless you have to.
Gandalf in the original, don't put it on ever. This version, you can put it on if you have to. I get.
Gandalf watches him go with an expression of infinite sadness.
Infinite sadness?
Exit exterior. Valley of the Shire, early morning. The Shire lies below, and hills rise all around it. Bilbo's cottage is just visible. In the foreground, the waterfall. Next to it, the road. And the four hobbits toiling up it. Light packs on their backs. As they pass, a black rider appears on the hilltop, in the far distance, just peeked out against the sky. He looks down at the Shire below, and the hobbits do not see him. Bilbo's song, "The Road Goes Ever On and On," has begun, and his voice is heard singing. But as Frodo gets closer, we see that he is singing too, and gradually his voice takes over from Bilbo's. The song continues through the first stage of their journey.
The road
The road goes ever, ever. No, the road goes ever on and on. Away from the door where it began. Hearth and hand, home are gone, and I must follow if I can.
I need to point out something.
The hills and the walls under the sky, pass them by, pass them by.
Valerian, you were saying?
I'm pointing out something. Just want you to point something. Hello, everyone. What have I stumbled upon? White Dragon. Hell.
We're reading. What is clearly, I will probably say this, the worst version of the Lord of the Rings ever.
No, it's the worst version yet.
It's a nice old
Yeah.
The road continues through a pastoral landscape in the full flush of spring. The road winds and twists endlessly into the distance, and the lanes and paths run down to meet it. The hobbits recede along it in a jaunty mood, singing away, happening to be starting a holiday on this fine evening. Wow.
Like no like overbearing weight over like the responsibility that they have before them. It's just like, oh, let's just like meander around a bit and like hippie and hoppy.
This is covering definitely covering. Are we gonna get into Tom Bombadil?
I have no idea.
To be fair, Gandalf didn't exactly impress upon them how much responsibility they have.
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
There's a lot of the
By the way, this is one script that covers all 3 books.
Oh my god. I thought it was only Fellowship of the Ring.
Nope.
Oh.
It's the whole thing.
And only 178 pages?
Yes.
No.
I guess they used the Eagles.
So by the way, each page, remember, in film time is usually 1 minute.
So this is about a little over about an hour and almost 3 hours. So
Pretty long for animated films back then.
I don't think this will be an animated film.
Oh.
Wasn't it a play?
No, I don't think it's a play. This is supposed to be it's exterior shot. So I think that this is still this is a movie script. John Boorman did not do play scripts.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be another shot of them singing, and so let's don't do that.
Their path crosses the brow of the hill, and they come down upon an orchard full of apple blossom. They skip through it, and the wind swirls the white petals around them like a snowstorm.
Yep. We kind of sung the first one. You gotta get the tune.
No, it's different. It's different. It's different.
Okay. The road goes ever on and on, away from the door where it began. The ones who walk before are gone. Hobbit, elf, dwarf, and man.
Apple and
music.
Nut and slew. Let them go. Let them go.
The path leads them out of the swirling petals into a field covered with mushrooms. The hobbits are delighted. They start picking and eating them as fast as they can. They begin to laugh and giggle, becoming rather unsteady on their feet.
Forget Nazgul. The scariest thing in the world is you lot singing.
They lurch on their way with contented smiles on their face. The world looks a little misty, different. Suddenly they are in a field of buttercups. Naked children run and play among the golden
ew, no. My eyes.
Also, Blarian, I'm trying to get into this, the tune here, which is done by a YouTube channel that does a lot of Lord of the Rings song versions of the poems that Tolkien wrote for Lord of the Rings. They're very good.
Yeah, apparently Mr. Boorman scripted the naked children into Excalibur as well.
Oh,
What?
wait.
Why?
He did?
Why?
What?
He
really
I'm pretty sure this
an R-rated
R-rated
King Arthur movie.
animated, so at least you would have like Barbie dolls.
Wait, isn't Excalibur the one that Linkara liked?
No, that's Camelot.
So
Okay.
naked
Ex-
children run around and then Mary erupts.
All right.
That's you do realize that erupt has very many different meanings.
Erupt with a C, you silly.
What? I thought you said erupt.
No, with a C, erupt.
Okay. So they run over a hill into a flock of sheep, which opens up, letting them through, and closes behind them. Now they're. Please, I don't want to sing anymore. Please.
I
You don't
will.
have to. We can just
Let's
say it.
just skip
Maybe
this song.
just skip that.
No,
Okay.
don't skip it. It
Yeah,
has
skip
different
it.
acts.
Vast plowed field. There are perhaps 50 scarecrows, very nasty faces, and scraggy arms floating in the wind. They carry on somewhat sobered.
The road goes
No,
ever
skip it.
on and on. Where
Just
will it lead?
skip
Stuff with
On
the mouth.
and on. The shadow falls across our way. We must go on. We cannot stay. The
Kill it.
trees and flowers and the leaf and grass. Let them pass. Let them pass.
The old will
So
know
is
how
this
you're
foreshadowing for later? When
Yeah,
the other place you shall not pass.
man. Are we gonna get? You know, it would be nice if we had more of the Lord of the Rings songs. I bet that we're gonna have a lot more. No, we're
No,
probably not.
no.
This is probably the only one.
Musical.
The
I
four
wish it
hobbits-
was a musical.
The four hobbits walk through the long grass. As like marbles flying on the corridor, the song comes to an end. Suddenly, the tall grass stops, and the hobbits are confronted with a line of big people cutting the grass with scythes. Startled, the hobbits scuttle back. One of the men catches a glimpse of a small being jumping back through the grass. He blinks and wipes his brow, then turns to the man next to him. "Oi, you must be either hate. Or do I see a halfling?"
Halfling.
Halfling? Where? There's a reward if you catch one of them.
What if it
Whoa there.
What the
Hold
society
on
is
there,
this?
buddy.
Are we in? Did they just stumble into the wild man country like Dunland?
What even are they? Are these the
Dunland.
are these
I
like
don't
Bill
know.
Furnian stuff or what?
I don't know. I think this is supposed to be Bree, or maybe it's just outside of Bree. I guess.
It's like,
I have no
has
idea.
the
I wanted outside of
bounty
Bree.
on their heads or something?
So they're not doing Tom Bombadil then.
No.
Doesn't
think
look
so.
like
Collecting
it.
your hits.
The
Oh
two
my
men look about
God.
them. The two men look about them, then resume working. Sam, Merry, and Pippin scurry away, breaking out of the grass further down
Oh
and
my
hiding behind the
goodness,
stake.
Frodo!
Frodo lags behind, a mischievous smirk on his face. He jumps over one of the
No.
side blade and struts up and down among the men, singing, "Oh,
Oh, I'm a hobbit of the Shire. Am I the halfling you desire?
No comment, and no, you're not.
Frodo
Didn't know
has the
Frodo
ring.
was on a suicide mission.
Frodo has the ring in his hand. The men are startled. The nasty looks cross their face. Oh no, we're going to get the rape sea in from
No!
what is
No!
it?
Oh, Reapers of the Hay! Oh, Reapers of Dismay!
Oh,
What's
it's
this character?
John Boorman did a hillbilly gay rape scene in one of his movies. I wish I was kidding.
Who did?
Yeah. It
Who?
was Deliverance. Yeah.
So is this? Is the ring just makes you evil? Apparently,
I
like
guess so.
chaotic.
It makes
Yes.
him dumb, apparently.
They close on him, ready to jump. At that, he leaps into the air, doing a somersault. He puts on the ring and vanishes in midair. The Reapers are truly
What the hell is
dismayed.
the point?
The
Yeah!
Who was this
A
anyway?
A cowpie suddenly splatters, struck by an invisible foot. The Frodo materializes behind the haystack, holding the ring in his hand. Sam, Merry, and Pippin are still more amazed and dismayed than the Reapers. Frodo's head is wheeling, as if he has touched on an experience he does not understand. He has a guilty, sheepish look on his face.
It just got itself to slip on itself on.
What?
What the hell is that sentence?
So Raptor, you go. You're Sam.
Well, you, Master Frodo, stuck your foot in it.
That's his first line in the movie, by the way. Sam's first line.
Yep. In the background, the Reapers
disrespect.
scratch their heads and argue. The hobbits hurry away towards the open road. Exterior, high open, countryside, and lane day. A dusty lane crosses the brow of the hill, and the four hobbits trudge across it. The shadow of a cloud scurries across the sunlit fields. In the distance, the hobbits see a flurry of dust coming toward them. They hurry off the lane and push through the hedge like rabbits.
What? Wait.
Pretty
That's
much like
interesting.
rabbit.
An interesting
Really?
simile.
Hedge like rabbits.
Where do they hedge like rabbits?
They hurry off the lane and push.
Rude.
A rider thunders toward them. They keep their heads well down and peer through the hedgerow flowers where bees and butterflies suck and flutter.
Ew, why would you place emphasis on this?
So this is the scene from the book and the movie with the writer.
Yeah, rider
Yeah,
slows
but
down
instead of having this scary guy, it's like, you see such bees fucking flowers, and then butterflies sucking the flowers, It's like, whew, holy shit, that's scary, man.
Just seeing this black thing in the midst of all this beautiful things, like
R-rated for mature,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, but they see him very indistinctly. The bees and the thorns and the flowers and the butterflies remain sharply focused, while the rider is a wispy black shape beyond. The black shape snuffles, searching like a bloodhound. Frodo looks very tense and flustered. He raises his hand to where the ring hangs on his chest. He touches it, fondles it. It's bad. A bee sucking on a dog rose next to it. Frodo's hand appeared, the ring poised over his finger. An effort of will shows on his face, and he draws the ring away. The black rider gallops off. The hobbits show relief and start off again on their journey, now keeping cautiously to the fields.
God, there's barely any
Exterior,
tension of that scene at all. Like, it's placing too much emphasis on the bees and the butterflies and the sucking.
And the sucking, yeah, man. Whew.
Yeah. A mossy bank by a stream. In the far background, a rough thatched cottage nestles into trees. The hobbits have made a fire, cooked and eaten. Sam is tidying up his pans. Pippin is lying down by the water, idly
What?
trying
Did
to
they have
tickle
sex or something? Did they have tidying up his pants again? What the fuck?
pans.
Or was he cooking naked?
No, it's pans, like frying pans.
Oh, I thought he said pants.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get sex later, and it'll be weirder.
Oh, God.
What?
No.
yes,
Really?
Yep.
yes.
Yep. It's a
What?
staple of John Boorman is his weird sex stuff. Like in Excalibur, he has a scene where Uther is screwing Igraine, but he's in full armor.
But
I wish I were joking.
We're not even 20 pages through. We've been here for an hour.
We might
Yeah,
have
we're
to just keep
dissecting
going on
everything.
Mondays. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
maybe a
Hobbits.
smart move.
The hobbits have made a fire, cooked and eat. Okay, Frodo and Merry are stretched out on a postprandial contentment. Oh, okay, that's a neat word. A few belches.
That's much better. I feel more like a hobbit again. What? Did you feel? What did you feel like before? Well, like less of a hobbit.
They all laugh at poor Merry, but they know what he means. Wow, they are assassinating poor Merry's character.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a holiday or hard work.
We've come so far, so fast. I think our hobbit sense got left behind. We squeezed a Shire month into a day.
And my pack is feeling too heavy.
Then Pippin answers Fat Mary's complaint.
Poor Mary! Mary, the one who's gonna be like the one who stabs the Witch King in the back.
Yeah.
And
You feel
By the way, Mary is supposed to be the smart one.
you
Yeah,
feel
really.
the serious one, more of the serious one out of the.
you feel
This is
you
supposed
feel
to
less
be Lord of the Rings, right?
yeah, you will feel the weight less, Mary. when you walk off when you walked it off some of your own. Where is Rivendell then? Tell me tell me that one of you someday. Some say it is here. Some say it is here. Ah, fucking hell! Does it move around then? Doesn't it stay in one place? Elves are very elvish.
Never mind
Elfish.
Rivendell.
No. It's elfish.
Elfish. I said it. Elfish.
No. You said elvish. Elfish, as in selfish.
Elves are very elfish. Oh, there you go.
It's weird. Yeah.
Never mind Rivendell. Where are we now? That's what I'd like to know.
You don't know?
I cannot go further tonight. For one.
There's tentative agreement. Sam rolls up and stands up and unrolls his bed blanket, looking up out at the setting sun.
When the sun's in the west, rest is best.
When the sun is in the east, start a feast.
Okay, I like that.
Mary
That's a good one.
mimes eating an enormous breakfast. Sam prepares Frodo's bed. Frodo is pensive. Then something makes him shudder. A thought or intuition.
Those Black Riders. It's funny. When they've gone, it feels like they were never here. And when they were here, it feels like they'll never leave. And when they do go, you can't remember what they look like.
My Hobbit kill zone quotes are more faithful to the books. Good gosh. Odo looks around nervously. The dell has fallen into twilight.
Master, if you think about them too much, they'll never leave you. Think about, let's see, Gandalf's fireworks.
You can see them if you close your eyes.
They all follow Pippin's example and squeeze their eyes closed, and now they all sit, grinning and sighing. In a gentle reverie of remembered pleasure, the hobbits are far away in their beloved Shire again. This is really interrupted by this chilling sound of geese screaming.
Didn't know we were in Canada.
Their eyes open and they look around. A gust of wind swirls about them. The goose east shriek and a donkey in a nearby field begins to bray. Quickly, the hobbits gather up their belongings.
It's a Black Rider! I can feel it!
Sam picks up
Come
a stout
on, where? Oh, sorry.
Sam picks up a stout stick and surveys the perimeter of the camp. Suddenly, a flock of frightened crows go cawing overhead. The braying donkey appears and crashes through their camp. Panic seizes the hobbits.
Oh, come on. Where? Anywhere.
Actually, this is the only moment that Mary is actually in character.
Yes.
And off he runs with the others at his heels, and soon they were in a full flight past the little farmyard. In the yard, a dog yowls, and across their stumbling path appears a black cat hissing its shackles hot.
Man, symbolism!
Wait, shackles?
That's too subtle for me.
Yep,
Wait,
it's
a cat
shackles.
in shackles? What's
It
this?
should be hackles, not shackles. That's weird.
What
Well,
is it
it's-
referring to?
It's no comment. Maybe it likes, no comment.
He likes BDSM or something.
No
Oh
comment.
no.
So,
They
we're
run
not getting an actual chase scene.
They run on blindly, caught by the terror at their heels, crying out themselves. Exterior, field, night. Over a moonlit, plowed field, panic struck, the hobbits fall and stumble. Horses and sheep run on amok. Birds scatter from the trees, and the earth itself seems to resound with the beat of hooves. Frodo trips and falls to his knees, but Sam and Pippin drag him to his feet. Ahead is a dark, menacing forest. They plunge into its thickest, not daring to look back as the hooves beat closer. But the wood seems to open up to let them pass, then close behind them as they zigzag through brambles and branches and brambles. They risk a glance back and see the dark form of the Black Rider enmeshed in the dense undergrowth, and the flash of a great scimitar cutting its way through. But the branches seem to cut back, thrashing at the horse. An interesting choice of weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't particularly mind what the weapon is. I'm more concerned with the fact that he's cutting through the trees, apparently.
It's a
The
fantasy
trees are
trope.
basically alive.
It's a fantasy trope.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like it seems as though they're in Fangorn at the moment, and it's
or the Old Forest.
yeah. The hobbits
Yeah.
run on, getting further and further away from the rider. They keep running deep into the forest until they can run no more. They continue to a stop and struggle for breath. They look back. No sign of their pursuer.
Did you see the trees? No, on our side.
Frodo looks around at the impenetrable fortress surrounding them.
Bilbo always said there are good and bad trees, just as there are good and bad hobbits.
Frodo has just finished talking when Pippin falls to the ground with a curse and jumps angrily to his feet again.
That road should threaten me up.
Merry manages a snorting laugh.
Pippin, don't be ridiculous.
Merry goes over to where Pippin stands, but immediately crashes to the ground himself, falling over the same root. He leaps up again, clenching his fist at the tree which owns the root.
Don't you try that stuff on me. I'll cut you down.
Just the fact that this is supposed to fit in all three films into one feature-length script, a feat, a task more impossible than Sisyphus.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
The tree creaks and groans angrily
So,
in
like,
response.
this is like about 180 pages, so like
By the way, I actually did look ahead in terms of the events. So Moria is at the first hour. Then they're in like Rohan going to Minas Tirith in hour 2.
Wow.
like wait, Moria is on like page 60?
Yes. They're not even in Moria. They're outside of Moria.
That's when you should be at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
Or like approaching the third
Jesus
act of
Christ.
Lord of the Rings.
Sam laughs at Merry, but as he steps back, a sweeping branch catches him in the back and sends him sprawling. Sam rises and bursts out in anger.
You black-hearted trees, may woodworm devour you.
Sam pulls out his axe and rushes at the
Yes,
tree, his,
and-
When do you have an axe?
his uplifted arm brandishing it. Angry tremors run through the forest. A low branch knocks the axe out of Sam's hand. Sam is thrown off balance, spins around, and goes crashing into a tree. The trunk groans and the branches toss and quiver. Sam is frightened by the effect of his words.
Big tree, forgive me. Please excuse me. I didn't mean it. All the plants in my garden love me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We are wasting, like... Okay, we
This
have
is
wasted
filler.
so much time. Yeah, this is so much filler. Like, I am so surprised how quickly at the pace of, if this was a movie, how fast it's going, yet how much filler it has.
We're already like 1/16 throughout the entire story, and this is what it's focusing on.
I really like the trees, though. They're really cool.
It's like, this script is supposed to be long enough, like a 3-hour movie. It should not take you an hour to get into Moria.
Yeah. Frodo goes to Sam's side. He looks around anxiously at the restless tree.
By the
Ninjago.
way, Boorman dies at page 90.
Oh.
Wow.
Spoiler.
Wait, what is that, page 90?
Boromir die. So 90 pages to do all the content that the first Peter Jackson film.
So the first half of this entire script is just Fellowship of the Ring, and then the last half is the combination of Two Towers and Return of the King.
And I'm betting a lot of condensing.
My word, that's insane, especially since Two Towers and Return of the King are both longer than Fellowship.
Yeah.
Frodo, you're up.
Oh, it's the Black Rider's fault!
Sam is full of remorse. He talks and chokes.
Please, big trees. Big tree, don't fret. Go to sleep. God, Sam is so pathetic.
Yeah.
Kind
Frodo
of.
looks on anxiously as Sam tries to placate the tree.
I wish I knew more about the language of the trees like Bilbo.
Drink water. Go to sleep, big tree.
Sam picks up Sam's cadence.
Eat earth, dig deep.
They're giving some of Tom Bombadil's dialogue to the hobbits.
Yeah.
Drink water. Go to sleep,
Look, Sam, the tree is quieting down. I don't know why they're doing this, but anyway. And then us together.
Okay.
Eat
Eat
earth, dig deep, drink water, go to sleep.
Sam and Frodo continue their chant, and Merry and Pippin join in. The anger of the tree subsides. The leaves begin to flutter softly. Pippin and Merry look up, and the hypnotic flutter of leaves makes them drowsy. Look,
the tree likes us.
We should get off the ground with these black riders prowling about.
Big tree, give us shelter for the night.
The tree responds with a quiver. Sam and Frodo notice Merry and Pippin staggering like drunks, fighting off sleep. Sam and Frodo feel the hypnotic effect of the fluttering leaves staggering. They manage to ask Merry and Pippin and drag them to the tree. They help them up. The four hobbits climb into the tree. Sleep overtakes them. They sink into the thick, soft foliage which seems to cradle them. As his eyes close, Frodo continues the chant.
Pardon me.
Then it cuts to Sam saying it.
Yeah, we'll just skip it. Early morning sunlight dappling through the leaves. Sam shakes Frodo awake.
Look, Mr. Frodo.
Frodo sits up and squints out.
We're right on the edge of the forest.
What? And I was sure we were deep in the tot.
Pippin wakes up at that point.
Well, trees cannot walk, can they? I wish we could cook. I'm starving.
Merry and Pippin are not the same person. Whoever did this.
I know.
No, not you. Them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starving.
Yeah, Pippin and Merry are like interchangeable. I don't know why. They didn't just merge them to like one character if they're going to do this.
Unless like they could have just made Pippin like name one character named Merry Pippin, and then one of them is Fatty.
Yeah. And
like, come on!
That's how they describe Merry. He's the fat hobbit.
I'm starving.
They should have a character named Muppet.
Yeah. They look out at the open courtyard beyond. It is broken and rocky with stunted trees. A mist hangs over it, not at all pleasant.
Well, we don't know where we are or where we're going. So we might as well start walking the way we're pointing.
I'm pretty sure. I wonder if that's a line from the book, and I'm pretty sure there's some more context.
I heard this was bad. Oh, it's
It is bad.
We haven't even gone. We haven't gone to the crazy town yet.
Yeah.
This is what writers do when they don't know what to implement in their second act. They just like have the character go wandering around in this like vast landscape.
I mean, are we even in Act 2?
We're not, but I'm just saying that like this is usually stuff that writers tend to do.
Actually, yeah, this would fail to 15. Yeah, this is 23 pages. This isn't like usually your first act is 15 minutes. 15 minutes is when your first act should be kind of wrapped up because you're introduced to the conflict. Yes, we're technically introduced with the Black Riders chasing our heroes, but we don't even know the stakes here. What are the stakes?
We don't know why the Black Riders are chasing them, or who commissioned them, or sent them, or what have you. And we don't.
Where's the beef?
Yeah, and like since Gandalf was very loose on like, you can maybe only use the ring when you actually need it, when you actually need to. Then it just like really dwindles the conflict because the ring isn't really used as a serious threat. Just like it's mostly just viewed as like something that could be an asset or could be a liability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The hobbits walk in silence. Mist lies over the land. Visibility is low. Sam is startled by something behind him.
Take cover! It's a Black Rider.
They fall to the ground, finding shelter under some rocks. Sam points. They watch anxiously, and after a moment, catch a glimpse of a horseman drifting ghost-like through the fog. He disappears, and they wait, strained to pierce the fog with their eyes. Again, the rider appears fleetingly, this time much closer.
Quick and quiet!
He leads the way, and they set off crawling.
What?
At a crawling run
away
from the hobbit. Away from the rider. They can hear the hooves quite distinctly behind them. They imagine riders everywhere. They quicken their pace, fear verging once again on panic. Sam collides with a boulder, and the frying pan on his back makes a clanging ring. In response, a deep voice calls out from behind them.
Halflings, hobbits.
Sorry about that.
It seems to say. The hobbits look at each other in alarm.
Halflings! He can hear us moving! We must hide!
Is this going to be Tom Bombadil?
Hobbits.
They push on.
No,
The
I
sound
think
of
that's-
voices close behind, and again a voice is calling. It's fine. The hobbits scuttle away, zigzagging around among boulders. Suddenly, they catch a glimpse of the drifting fog of 3 black riders emerging from behind a knoll and fanning out, making familiar sniffling noises, as if they're following a scent. The hobbits freeze on the spot. Carefully, they backtrack, tiptoeing through the boulders in silence and fear, not knowing what to do. Horse gallops toward them. They bolt away. The horse jumps a rock, coming to a rearing halt in front of the terrifying-eyed hobbits. The rider leaps to the ground. He is a towering figure with a long, leathery face and keen blue eyes.
Oh, a White Walker!
You know what? Actually, that's not dissimilar. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm just imagining our 4 hobbits from the Wrecked Backsheet films are in this position, and all of a sudden a White Walker shows up.
Sam,
It's a
showing great
white
faith-
walker with a skull face and a black cloak on a horse.
I think. Wait, maybe not actually. Sam,
Maybe a
showing
different
great
guy.
bravery, draws his long kitchen knife and struts up to the man.
Black Rider, I am Sam Gamgee, Hobbit of the Shire. Turn and fight fair if you know how. Why?
Sam trembles, his teeth chatter.
Wait, is this gonna be Aragorn?
I think this might be Aragorn, actually.
Okay, so now Aragorn is a White Walker.
Nice.
Undead Aragorn. That's kind of cool.
Maybe. Maybe it's not. Okay.
Maybe Erwin maybe the decision would be a lot more easier for Erwin if Aragorn was internal.
Yeah. Or maybe she become the new Knight's Queen.
Oh,
No,
cool.
yeah, that could be a possibility.
Sam trembles, teeth chattering, slight smile touches the lips of the man and softens the melancholy of his deep lined face. He regards the 4 hobbits.
Which of you is Frodo?
Okay. Yeah, you be Aragorn, that works. The hobbits are stunned that the man should know Frodo's name. They exchange looks. The snuffling sounds are heard again.
I am.
Also, Marion Pepper.
Yeah.
The
I
man
am-
turns to Frodo, the only hobbit who has not spoken.
Do you bear it?
Bear it? Bear what?
I see you do. It draws them.
Who are you? Why have you pursued us if you're not a Black Rider?
I am a ranger.
He signals that they be still. They listen. Snuffling sounds again approach from all sides. He casts a commanding glance at the hobbits and motions that they follow him. The hobbits obey, running after the ranger.
Why are we going with him?
What else can we do?
I don't like the look. I don't like the look of him.
The shrill hoofbeats of the Black Riders are pursuing them and seem to engulf them. The hobbits are unable to maintain the ranger's pace. He sees this, glancing back, and realizes further flight is hopeless. He stops, holding up one hand.
Stand and fight.
For a moment, the hobbit flee
Our ranger, everyone!
in with him. It is an open plain, and they are vulnerable. The fog drifts around him. The ranger crosses his arms and draws 2 swords. They are the broken halves of one sword.
So apparently, the sword got snapped vertically. And by the way, now I'm thinking him as Talion. Now.
One hand brandishes the original handle, while the other grasps a makeshift handle of leather bound around the blade.
Oh, okay. That's more
Shoulder
reasonable.
to shoulder. Make a
Actually,
ring.
does sound like a cool description of a pair of swords.
Yeah. The ranger and the tiny hobbits form a little circle, their cutlery pointing out at the fog.
Their cutlery pointing. Now I'm seeing them holding up like a knife and fork and a napkin at a restaurant, you know.
Yeah. It reminds me of like the Polish defending their cities from Nazi Germany when it invaded.
That's a bit more inspiring than what I had.
Yeah.
Bro, this story does not waste any time.
Oh, it does. It
No,
does.
no. You see space junk. Space junk. This is one of those things that you notice in recent pacing movies where it's a contradictory. It goes fast as a speeding bullet. Yes, it does waste your time. It does feel longer than it is.
Immediately, two riders burst upon them. One has a scimitar which scythes the air, and the other bears a long lance.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of cool. The Black Riders had different weapons.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, you know, in medieval times, they had lances a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they lanced a lot of women and children.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Those stakes were indeed high.
The ranger drops to his knee to avoid the blade, then swings his swords and an arc over his head. The two black horses lurch away. The hobbits throw themselves to the ground, and the ranger's horse is above them, giving some protection. From another direction, a black rider charges, and the ranger's horse rears at the newcomer, which swerves away. The ranger drags the hobbits to their feet.
Get up, half-legs. Protect your master.
He pulls Frodo to his feet, but when he releases him, Frodo sinks to his knees again. Frodo is half swooning. Sam goes to the ring, his eyes glaze. The Black Riders charge once more. The Ranger thrusts out his two swords towards the sound of the hooves. Frodo moans as they gallop closer, charging in.
The ring! Precious!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
The leading horse catches the Ranger with its flank and hurls him to the ground. He crashes into the hobbits. The Ranger's horse rears up, causing one rider to swerve away. A scimitar slices across their heads, and a lance stabs the ground an inch from Frodo's leg. Frodo crawls away into the fog. He has the ring out now. The other hobbits stagger to their feet. Sam sees Frodo is gone. He calls out,
Master Frodo!
The riders charge again. Frodo can bear it no longer. His face is agonized. He slips on the ring. The riders charge past between Frodo and the others. Sam catches a glimpse of Frodo just as before the horses obscure his view. When they are gone, Frodo has disappeared.
They've taken him!
As Frodo becomes invisible, his perception changes. The fog disappears. His vision becomes extremely vivid. He sees the Black Riders as they slow down and return to attack again. The Ranger and the Hobbits point their weapons up pathetically into the fog, which no longer exists for Frodo.
Thanks for introducing the new cool character. This is a hell of a debut.
Yeah. The world of sound has changed too. He cannot hear the hoofbeats nor what the Ranger and Sam are calling out. Instead, he is assailed by a dense crashing clamor of voices. All 9 riders turn. Wait, 9? Okay. Clearly,
I thought there were 2.
Yeah.
There was like 3.
Yeah, clearly they now sense the area of his presence. They charge at him in a phalanx.
They all teleported, by the way. I'm pretty sure. They just teleported. Okay, they go by Death Eater logic, okay? That they could just teleport whenever they want.
Now, here's a question. Can there be a phalanx of 9 people?
Yeah, as long as you give them... Each one, a phalanx is just a formation of people where you give a shield in a... Usually just shields to block, and usually spears. Usually spears, but you could do it with swords or any other tool. The idea is you just make sure your shields overlap to make a scale armor.
Fair enough.
You literally have...
How do you do that on horses?
You can. You basically, each horse gets their own body length shield.
I think it is gonna be more like a lance formation, like a spearhead formation instead of a phalanx formation. I think that's a misreading.
That's a weird use of the word phalanx, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say more spearhead formation because spearhead formations are normally used to crush enemy formation, big time.
Wasn't Philip the Second of Macedon the first person to implement phalanxes when it came to his conquest of Greeks?
Mm-hmm.
Can I call attention quickly to the chat? The Black Riders also have clown noses, says Space Chunk.
Clearly.
They probably should.
Yeah. They ride... They come on very slowly, swerving and lurching as they drop inexorably closer. They grew larger. They ride on towards Frodo, ignoring the Ranger and the Hobbits. They are now 3 times normal size.
Apparently, they grow like Hulk.
Okay. They rein in their horses above Frodo, and one extends a black-gloved fist towards him. On each hand gleams a garish ring. What?
Garish as in like fancy looking ring.
Yeah. And each 9 hands and rings come down towards him and chant. A voice chants above all the others.
Nine for mortal men, doomed to die.
Notice that they misspelled the word rain, too.
Yeah. A lance is raised, descending slowly towards Frodo. Frodo sees the blind, luminescent skull-like face. That's the image that I have in my head is just so bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like African stereotypical African tribal leader. But with like the ring race, So you have like the ring race, the way they would look with the red eyes and stuff. But now you put in the paint job of a tribal leader.
I was thinking like a bad skull masks.
I was thinking of
so do I.
I was thinking of this toy laughing skull that my sister has.
Oh, I was thinking about just a skull mask with acid on it. You know, that has been put down with acid.
The Wall of Voices.
Carry on.
The Wall of Voices seems to crush him down. Subtle, seductive voices, voices screaming in pain, voices singing strange, plaintive songs and chants, children wailing. And above them another voice booms, struggling to be heard, trying to warn Frodo.
Gandalf!
The rider's movements have become slower and slower until the moment the lance descends on Frodo becomes utterly suspended. The riders stand above Frodo, frozen in time as Frodo struggles in the dimension of sound. What?
So wait. So Frodo gets struck by a lance and not a dagger.
It actually doesn't. It says it becomes suspended, like it halts like a few inches away from his chest.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I think there's like a slow motion thing or something.
Yeah. The sharp, evil lance point, the moment of his death, is poised above him.
Over me, the power would gain. The ring would gain a power still greater, more deadly.
The other voices scream down Gandalf's voice. Frodo tears the ring off his finger. The moment of suspended time is released. The voices cease. The lance plunges down at him. Frodo rolls away from it, but not far enough, and its point pierces his shoulder. Well,
he should have been dead. Okay, sorry. Like a lance on a full gallop.
Well,
he
did.
He's
not at a full gallop.
Yeah, that was like straight through you.
He didn't. Well, that's the weird thing. They were circling him, and they weren't charging at him. They just
no, because you said they were in a phalanx formation, which means they literally trampled him.
So it's strange. So what happens is, they come on very slowly.
So they're their horses are not even galloping; they're just chugging along.
I think it's slow motion again.
Yeah.
How the hell do you use this lance if you don't even move properly?
Yeah.
It's poorly described.
Yeah. So is Gandalf at Weathertop now, or where is this? This is just
This is just a random field.
This is just a random field outside of, I'm gonna assume, the old forest.
Yeah, how did Frodo find them?
So by the way, Bree, we're not exploring that. We're not exploring Weathertop.
No, we're already in the ancient forest. Ooh.
Yeah, how did Strider even find these hobbits if they were just out in the wilderness?
Rangers! Ranger powers!
This is proof that people who think that there's a lot of good older movies are idiots. There's a lot of bad older movies.
Okay, so this wasn't made. So this is like a tier bad.
So this is Weathertop, not the place, but this is the same.
Yeah, we're doing the scene, but we're not at the cool location.
Yeah, we're just at some random whatever.
Yeah, we're not even having like Weathertop on the hill nearby, like in the animated movie, where they're like at the foot of the hill, or we're not in the Peter Jackson one where they're fighting actually on Weathertop. Now,
but not far enough that a spear pierces his shoulder. The fog returns and Sam spots Frodo and cries out, "There, Frodo!"
There, Frodo.
Yeah. The others see him too and catch a glimpse of lances and scimitars blindly stabbing and probing the earth around Frodo's crumpled body, desperately searching for Frodo, who is now quite visible. What the heck?
Wait, how are these Black Rangers threatening? They can't hit a flying down target on their horse while they're circling.
I'm imagining a laugh track at this moment.
Oh no, James. No, what have you don't what did you join?
I'm now thinking of like that yakety sack music.
The ranger swings his swords and runs to Frodo's aid, but the riders are gone, disappearing into the fog. The ranger lifts Frodo into his arms. Blood seeps from his wound, and Frodo is barely conscious. The ranger considers for a moment, peering into the fog.
Yeah, by the way, I just want you all to imagine Aragorn from the Ralph Bakshi movie hoisting up a bleeding Frodo like that.
Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah. The ranger galvanizes into action. He sits Frodo on his horse, then bundles the other hobbits up behind him. Wow, that's a big horse.
And then what? Did he just grab a big cloak? A big cloak is like, oh, hobbits, we need to go. What do you mean?
Oh, hey, Codex, if you want to come on, I think the link is in the chat. If you want to provide like another cast member.
Hold on. For your life and his.
Actually, never mind. Let me put him in. Okay. Valerian, would you be willing to read some of the in-betweeners?
What am I reading? Sorry?
The
Sam puts his arms and all the scene descriptions.
Yeah, the narration.
Oh, okay. Just warning you that I'm eating at the same time. So
So did I while I was voicing Bilbo. So.
Okay, good. Where do we leave off?
Sam
puts
his arms.
Sam puts his arms around Frodo as the ranger breathes a word into the horse's ear. I don't know how that word is.
The river.
The horse snorts. The ranger.
By the way, it says Aragorn breathes a word, but it has an exclamation mark.
The horse snorts. The ranger gives it a mighty slap on the rear as it gallops off.
Okay, now I'm thinking the horse line going back like it's the Lone Ranger and Hi-Ho Silver. Oh no, with that. So yeah, Von Lestra, say that line, but as if you're the Lone Ranger.
I've never seen the Lone Ranger.
Okay, so like that cowboy where the horse leans back and he shouts, "Hi-Ho Sliver, away!
Be faster than a sinking hope."
What?
That is
What? That is. The horse bolts away. The four hobbits hanging on precariously. Exterior, valley and river. Day. The ranger's horse breaks out of the fog into a valley at the bottom of which runs a river. On the slopes around them, they now see the Black Riders, trailing whiffs of dust, converging on the hobbits from all directions. They are racing the hobbits to the river. Sam has difficulty in keeping Frodo's dead weight from falling. The wind sweeps the blood from Frodo's wounds back onto him. It froths and darkens.
Wait, the wind sweeps the blood back?
That's what it says. Sam sees the river
ahead. That's a very
ahead.
strange sentence.
A lot of these sentences here are strange. Sam sees the river ahead and the 9 Black Riders converging from all sides. Some from the left, some from the right, some from behind. Merry turns and sees a Black Rider catching up. He waves a frying pan to ward off the rider. The light flashes off the pan and for a moment blinds the rider's horse. It wavers and loses its stride. On the other side of the flat.
Wait, isn't this still the middle of the night?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Apparently it's day now.
It is day now. Sorry.
It's day now. It's day now.
It's day. Obscure your
notice
gaze, sorry. It wavers and loses its on the other side of the placid river. Behind great trees, a light glows, and Sam catches a glimpse of a palace of crystal.
Rivendell.
Approaching the river, the ranger's horse slows down, while the riders drive their horses on.
I just realized something. They completely skipped Saruman. Maybe that's why they're able to condense so much material. They're just going to skip over everything related to Saruman.
Oh wow, that's going to be a pity. That's a pity.
Yeah.
Unless they just explain Saruman later, like they do in the book.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Let's see what Rivendell is like. The ranger's horse starts to wade across, converging from all directions. Okay, that sounds familiar. The black riders come galloping up to the river, almost colliding into each other. There's a confusion of rearing black horses. Then the riders drive their mounts into the water. Deep, inhuman cries come from the riders, chilling the blood of the hobbits.
The ring.
The ring.
They're just cartoon villains.
So are the writers just doing a musical number about the spelling the ring?
I guess so.
Apparently.
Also, I'm going to eat something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going, Valerian.
Suddenly, a wave of water floods the river, as if materializing out of the spray. Mounted elven warriors on ponies, the color of foam, their manes and tails flying like the surf about them, gallop down the center of the river.
Oh, ponies, so impressive.
Oh yes, very. They charge into the black riders. Pardon me. Jousting them into the water, all except one who had not yet entered the river. Frodo falls into the water. Sam plunges after him. An elf jumps down, laughing with joy, and pulls Frodo out. Merry and Pippin scramble towards the bank. The elven horsemen, their ponies, prancing, break into cheers of
The elves
victory.
ride on ponies?
Apparently.
Prancing ponies. Okay.
Morgoth's greatest nemesis, ponies.
James Knighton, who made this? John Boorman. This was the original script for Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings.
God help us. Let's see. Sam, Merry, and Pippin, barely able to stand up in the fast-running water, look around in amazement. The bodies of the black riders are dissolving in the water.
What?
And from the
Wait, what?
and from this dissolving carcasses issues a black slime.
They're dead?
Apparently,
Howling.
we're going by Wicked Witch of the West logic.
Howling, swords in hand, the rangers running at incredible speed towards the river. The surviving black rider turns his horse and rears it up against the ranger, who crashes into the underside of the horse.
Please tell me that it's going to lead to a duel between those two.
That would be very, very funny.
Toppling it over into the river. The elves cheer. Well? Yay, yay, yay! There we go.
Yay!
The black rider dissolves into a slimy rivulet of dark liquid that flows downstream, intact, running snake-like between the rocks. And snake-like the liquid remains, and the black riders coil and wind into each other. Oh, right. Okay, I'm probably... Is Gandalf
I'll
coming
do
up soon? Because if so, we can switch narrators now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can jump in.
Yeah.
I'm getting
It's silly.
sleepy on this.
Interior, the Great Hall, Rivendell, day. A slimy rivulet of dark blood oozes out of the wound in Frodo's shoulder. Frodo lies on an enormous circular table. His feet face towards the center, while his head rests at the edge of the table. Okay.
Very
His
specific.
His inanimate body, stripped of clothes, is covered with leaves. Around the wound, they are green, but as they move further away from the wound, they become autumnal. Gold and amber? Is this supposed to be amber?
It's supposed to look like fall colors. So you got the green for the wound, and then it spreads out. It becomes fall. It's symbolism,
Yeah,
okay?
but
This
like,
is a
is it-
symbolic shot.
I think Umber might
Is
be
it
actually
supposed to say amber or umber?
Umber.
I think
Yeah,
Umber
it's
might be a word.
Color?
It's a natural
yes.
pigment. It's a color. It's crap colored.
Resembling but darker than ochre, normally dark yellowish brown in color, it says.
So yeah,
Or
like
dark
crap.
brown roasted.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically.
There's
So-
also
I'll go first.
Okay. The ring on his chest is just visible through the leaves.
definition 2 is a brownish gray moth with coloring that resembles tree bark.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. But either way, this is just symbolism.
Symbolism.
Does it symbolize the writing? That the writing is
Symbolism. Okay, so in this 3-hour movie that's supposed to include all 3 books, it took us half an hour to get to Rivendell.
We're now 2 hours in. 2 hours in. and-
It took us 2 hours to get this far.
This is good. I did. Yeah, I thought we might be able to get through a large chunk of it in a day, but like, I'm like, yeah, no, this is gonna.
My
be a
attention
hard-
is
Should we go for like 45 to 50 pages or something?
Let's go to about that much. Yeah, let's go
Do
to
you-
50.
Do you mind if I now call it a day because
Yeah.
I am not more able to give a proper reaction?
That's fine.
It
You
drained
just,
me.
yeah. Hopefully, we eventually get to the part where things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
45 is
Anyway.
40,
Yeah,
45
bring
is
on
the more
possible.
we would be right before Moria, or in the middle of the Council of Elrond. So
Well, I want to wish you all a good luck and stay strong, my friends.
Have a riot.
Thank you, Johan.
see ya.
Like,
Alrighty, Von Listra.
and they're
Alright.
fine.
The enormous circular table is made of solid crystal. That doesn't sound very comfortable. And embedded under its surface is N, historical, relief map of Middle-earth. Above Frodo's head, on a throne, seated a tall figure. His face is ageless, with sad grey eyes. Upon his head is a circlet of silver. He is Elrond, King of the Elves?
Yeah.
Lord of Rivendell.
At this point, yeah, he would be king of the elves. At least to Noldor,
Oh yeah,
because
he's from the Noldor. He's technically High King of the Noldor. So
because Gil-galad is dead. What?
well,
Maybe
Elrond was not Gil-galad's heir.
Well,
Elrond is the
Gil-galad didn't
brother-
have an heir.
Elrond is the brother of Elros, the first king of Numenor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I think it would be Elrond would be.
Gil-galad is considered the last High King of the Elves of the West.
Yeah, because
He's the
they.
de facto king. He's basically the vice president who just says, "I'm declaring myself vice chancellor for life."
Well, it's more like everyone agrees that he is because he's the.
The son of Elbereth, and no, it's
Orodreth.
son of- it's the
He's a
son
descent-
of Elendil.
Elrondil. Yeah,
Arundel.
Eowyn.
Yeah.
And he's also a descendant of Baron Luthien.
And a Meyer.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Let's
I
keep
think
going.
Tuor is in there. I think Tuor and Idril are in there somewhere too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sounds
Anyway,
about right. Yeah.
seated around the table are the sages king. I can't see this right. Can you scroll up a little? Seated around the table are the sages, kings, and warriors of Middle Earth. Bilbo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are seated on one side of Elrond, and on the other the Ranger. Beyond the table, tears rise up, and upon them are elves, who are wailing and swaying in unison.
What?
Above the tiers of elves, the walls of crystal curve up, forming a dome over the great hall. The flames of an open fire at one end of the hall reflect upon the ceiling. High above, an elf, holding a mirror, deflects a beam of sunlight down to an elf who stands by the table, and who in turn reflects the beam with his mirror onto Frodo's shoulder. Okay. Is this how they're curing the poison, with sunlight?
It gets better.
A trickle of black liquid oozes out of the wound and runs down Frodo's arm and onto the table, forming an inky pool. Gandalf leans forward to examine the wound.
Wraith essence. Lord Elrond. Frodo fades still.
A tremor of reaction shows in Elrond's utterly still
Can I
countenance.
just comment on that for 1 second? A tremor of-
We're only 30 pages in.
And Frodo is dead!
How can a tremor of a reaction show in a still countenance? How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Carry on, Sora.
I mean, I can't get over the fact that they're curing him with sunlight.
It's deep.
It's the best disinfectant.
It's deep stuff. Okay. Wave of dismay.
Okay, let's go. A tremor of reaction shows in Elrond's utterly still countenance. A wave of dismay ripples through the hall as Gandalf's words are passed around, the humming chorus of voices picking up the words, repeating them rhythmically, becoming a background to Elrond's speech. Okay, who's going to do Elrond?
Raptor, you do it.
You want me to be Elrond?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do your best Viggo Morrison. No, not Viggo Morrison. The other guy.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, okay. Here lies Frodo, the ring-bearer, pierced by a blade of the 9 Black Riders, the Ring-Wraiths, servants of our common enemy, Sauron, Lord of Mordor. The Wraiths have been vanquished, but from their foul essence, alas, a new form shall rise again. The Hobbit lies now in the twilight of the Wrath world of the Wraith world. He begins to fade, his arm first. If we cannot halt the rotting of his blood, he will pass into the service of Sauron. Strong indeed has Sauron become, that this wound defies the healing power of the elves. Let his life be uplifted and float upon a sea of song.
May I comment, please?
Go for
Yeah.
Up, please. Up. Foul essence. Note the spelling of the word foul.
That was foul like a bird.
Are we back to geese again?
Foul.
Yeah, and also, it took us 30 minutes to have Sauron. His name explicitly told us. And who the flip the Black Raiders are, and who the flip Sauron is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the song
29 pages later, Blink.
Go for it.
and the Black Riders are apparently foul, so I guess we're the geese.
Yes.
And by the way, they're dead now.
Canadian.
Also, like, so we learn about the Black Riders when they're dead.
Well, they were always yeah.
They've been vanquished. Wait, it says that they shall come back, apparently.
Thank you, Alvron. Very cool.
Chant of the elves is gathered in intensity. Their hands wave and shake in a tormented dance.
What? Sam cries out, joining the wailing of the elves.
Merry and Pippin are drawn into the surging movement as if in a wake.
I'm thinking like a 70s song, like 70s pop song.
Maybe it's a disco.
Maybe
Frodo's
it's
arm is becoming transparent. The bone is quite clear beneath the translucent
Oh my
skin.
goodness!
Elrond rises and motions towards a young girl about 13 years of age. Wait, what?
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 Who's
No,
this? What's going on? Wait,
Is this
Arwen's
Arwen?
13?
No.
No.
Who is passing her
You're just
hand?
even more creepy!
What?
Who is passing her hands through the
Playing
flames
Maker
of the
13,
great
why?
fire. I'm really hoping this is not Arwen. In
It's
one
gonna
hand,
be
she holds a long,
Arwen.
thin
It's gonna
blade.
be Arwen.
Summoned by Elrond, blade in hand, she moves to Frodo.
Dark are these times, the power of elves is waning, but at twilight shines an evening star. It is our little lady. Arwen.
No!
What? Wait a minute here. You just said 13 years of age.
Yep.
Isn't she a little young for Aragorn, who's like 90?
It's going to get weirder.
Don't
She's
worry.
like- When you have a 77-year age gap.
Don't worry. Just wait until Arwen, Boromir, and Aragorn gets together for a scene.
But Blight Lord, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. This is not the sex scene you were talking about, is it? Please.
Oh, it happens later.
Please, no, not with. Please, not with. Please, not with. Let Arwen not be in it, please.
Nope, she's in it.
What?
Oh
No.
my God.
What? That's carrying a little far. I mean,
Look, we're already in the garbage dimension, okay?
Let's continue.
Let's just continue. So they're chanting.
I do have to do one thing first. Let's see. Where is it?
Oh no.
Somewhere. This.
What?
Yeah. So, all right. Oh, I'm gonna be Gimli, by the way. So,
Oh, over the chorus, Elrond's voice booms out.
Gimli, the dwarf, Lord of the Axe, come forward. Should my daughter swoon or cry out, strike off the arm.
what?
Where does it really
what
find?
arm? Her arm?
Strike off
What in
Frodo's
the
arm.
world?
What does that mean?
Her arm or Frodo's arm?
Frodo's arm.
Okay, but
Strike
still.
off the arm.
Pardon me.
This is amazing. I love this.
This is just. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's-
Lustra?
Okay. Gimli, a dwarf, bearing an axe with a harsh, shining blade, rises and comes up to the throne. Arwen stands above Frodo's head, her knife ready to cut into Frodo's wound. Behind her stands Elrond. He leans over and tenderly kisses his daughter.
Ew.
what?
These are
It could be like a fatherly kiss, but still, like this whole shot, I'm right now in my head.
Why you kissing
very
your daughter
strange
while
that he would do
while
that
he's
after
doing
telling
surgery?
Gimli to cut off an arm. Whether it's Frodo's or Arwen's, I don't know.
Maybe
Gimli
it's both.
raises and lowers his axe above Frodo's arm. Okay, it's Frodo's arm. Measuring the arc of it. The chorus begins to undulate, chanting in a low-pitched hum of expectancy. Arwen plunges the blade into the wound, skillfully opening it up. A gasp escapes the hobbits. Arwen probes into the black hurt. Elrond watching his daughter anxiously. For a moment, Arwen seems to falter. Her mouth twists into a cry, but no sound comes. The chorus cries out for her. The arm fades further. Tension mounts among the onlookers.
This
Even
reminds
the
me.
leathery faces of the ancient kings betray anxiety. The hobbits scarcely dare to breathe, while for an endless moment Arwen cuts deeper into Frodo's flesh. The voices of the elves subside to an ululating murmur.
Why are
Gimli's
we
axe
focusing
about
on
to
this?
come down as Arwen swoons, but she recovers, and Gimli forbears. The tension is unbearable. Suddenly, a powerful young warrior springs to his feet. I'm guessing this is Boromir.
Enough. How long shall we fuss over a ring and a sick hobbit?
Oh, racism!
Murmurs of anger greet the outburst. Arwen remains impassive.
Who's going to be Boromir?
Oh yeah. I, Boromir, forsook my people who alone stood in arms against the enemy to be at this council. For 10 days and nights I rode, and 2 great horses died under me. Lord Elrond, did you summon me to sing hymns over?
That's not the Boromir I know.
Well,
just as arrogant, but not as racist.
Definitely not as racist. Like, he was overly protective of the halflings because he knew he couldn't defend themselves.
yeah, I mean, Pippin at least was fond of Boromir.
Yep.
I mean, we can't really feel sad for Boromir if he's an unlikable douchebag all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone's kind of like that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, Gandalf raises his hand to silence him and moves across to whisper in his ear.
Boromir, the life of Elrond's daughter hangs in the scales. This is a struggle, a feat of strength between the power of Sauron and the power of the elves. If Arwen falls, the Hobbit will fall under the dominion of Sauron.
Wow, this was so much better in the movie.
Yeah, we didn't have a long process about trying to save a hobbit. We didn't see the healing process.
We also didn't see the sentient trees. Holding on until the second film.
Like, in the movie, it was just like, oh, Arwen is such a good person and cares so deeply for someone she's barely met that she's like, give my gift to him if it will save him. It's like this was like 10 seconds, but it's very effective.
I don't think it was like give my gift to him. It was more.
Yeah, it was.
Well, what grace is given?
What grace is given
me.
to me, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Let it. What
Anyway,
grace is given me,
Boromir
let it
looks
pass.
suspiciously at Gandalf.
Then we should take the ring.
Take it. You take it, Boromir.
Oh my goodness!
Wait, I didn't
Gandalf.
intend to shout.
Why the hell is Gandalf continuously encouraging people to take the ring?
He wants them to die is why.
Could we
He finds
please?
amusement in torturing people.
Or could it be a twist that this isn't Gandalf but Saruman?
Oh,
Maybe Gandalf was the evil one all along. Sorry.
maybe you take the ring, or maybe you take the ring. Oh, maybe I'll take the ring.
You take it, Boromir.
Gandalf's words are intense, a challenge. Boromir leaps on the table and crosses to Frodo. Arwen and Elrond remain absorbed. Boromir reaches out his hand, straining towards the ring. An unseen force holds him back. Why?
So what? The ring is trying to prevent people from grabbing it?
Boromir's face strains with effort. The sinews rise on his arm.
The
At last, Boromir withdraws his hand, defeated.
Ring of Power in the books and both movie versions. Come on, take me. I know you want me. The Ring of Power in this script. Stay away from me, Baka.
The Hobbit is a pebble pinched between two great rocks, whatever that may mean.
Okay.
This is so ridiculous.
It's so
Arwen-
unnecessary.
Arwen still probes inside the wound. She extracts from the wound a dark splinter and holds it aloft. A joyous cry sweeps up from the chorus. Frodo stirs. The impetuous Boromir leaps onto the table with a great shout of victory. Sam and Bilbo start forward, hope springing in their hearts. Arwen silently moaning while healing Frodo.
What?
It's space junk. Frodo awakes to the exultant singing of the elves. He opens his eyes and sees his friends above him in a dreamlike swirl of confused faces.
I can be Pippin and Merry at this point. Frodo will live.
Frodo hears this while his swirling vision slowly subsides. He lifts himself up a bit and sees a distorted image of his arm returning to normal, and at the end of it, holding onto his hand, Sam, his eyes shining.
Hello, Sam.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Trying to sound like a British accent.
Yeah.
Hello?
Well, there's Tolkien. Or was.
Also, Dungeon Master Blaster, you'll regret saying that when the rest of the script comes up.
Anyhow.
It's about to go down.
Yeah, right now we're in the we're in a roller coaster right now, right? And we're on the. You think that we're all in the midst of the roller coaster? No, we're on the build-up. We're on the crank, 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 crank.
Yeah, we've not even left Rivendell yet. Holy shit!
We're basically compressing down, is what you're saying?
Did we do the Sam line?
Anyhow, it's warm.
Bilbo.
I mean, I'm Sam. It's warm, meaning your hand, Mr. Frodo.
Totally not gay.
Frodo sits up, his vision still hazy. He sees Bilbo.
Bilbo! I never thought it was only a week!
It was totally like a day.
Yeah.
This is like 3 days or something.
I would say a week, just movie past the time, but definitely not like months, like in the movies or like in like the Ralph Actually version. It was clearly 17 years.
Yeah, they stayed 17 years.
Yeah, in the movies, you had the implication that it's like been months.
Yeah,
Like,
it's been at least a couple of weeks to several months.
Yeah, for like and then
We're just coming off the tracks, huh?
No,
we're racketing. We're in the racketing part of the go-karts. We're about to head out the tracks, but
They leave us Brits out of this crap.
Well, it looks like it's a British. They're using British spellings.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that John
Bilbo
Boorman
laughs
himself
happily.
British.
Frodo sees the awesome figure of Elrond as though reflected in rippling water.
Unnecessary adjective.
Elrond is speaking, and Frodo strains to hear what he is saying. Gradually, the face grows clearer and the voice stronger. Frodo finds himself sitting at the round table with the leaves on him.
oh my goodness!
Elrond is making his opening speech,
He's wearing
and the council has begun.
He's wearing some aprons of fig leaves.
He's wearing
No.
what?
He's wearing leaves, yeah.
Oh,
Is he like
And-
Peter Pan or something?
yeah, but
Mhm.
also major lore problems.
Anyhow,
In
And-
the first sentence.
yeah. And the rings of power were forged by the elven smiths, but Sauron ensnared them. He learned the secrets of the elves and betrayed them. And in the Mountain of Fire, he secretly forged the One Ring to be master over all the rings of power.
That's not how that went.
No,
Yeah.
he only. Okay, okay. Now we're getting into a major lore problem. Like in general, that was the plan, but it didn't work because 3 that belonged to the elves were like hidden away. They immediately knew as soon as he put on put on the One Ring. The dwarves were given to the dwarf lords. It just made them greedy. It didn't really have much of an effect on them. Like it just made them more greedy to dig deeper, so that they can unlock a Balrog or 2.
Yeah, most of them are lost anyway. The dwarf rings.
Yeah, like Sauron took time to try to take them back, and then it's the men that fell. But still, you implied that every single one.
Mm-hmm.
The singing begins in a heroic mode. One of those words is covered up by the open with.
By the way, we're having a marching band.
Currently.
You know, scroll up, done.
Oh, sorry. It's right there.
Singing begins in a sad and heroic mode. That's weird. In contrast, cymbals and hand drums strike up a fanciful marching rhythm. Let's just skip this.
Rings for the Elven Ring. Yeah, we'll skip that.
While the voices
Dun, dun, dun.
chant, a group of actors in costume and masks, a motley assortment representing the beings of Middle-earth, mounts on to the table in Cordache.
Okay.
First come the
Cortege,
elves,
like a funeral
preceded by a
cortege?
ring juggler, performing deftly with 3 glass rings shimmering with colors. Then follow the dwarves, led by a midget juggler who fares badly with 7 rings, being harassed by a dragon, which
What?
other dwarves attempt to fight out.
What? 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 What?
What the
What?
hell is this script?
I don't think you understand the dwarves. I don't think you get.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, right, stuff applied.
I think we're getting to the point where we're on that top point where we're gonna fall down.
and
Okay,
cortege
this
is like a
now I
funeral
think
thing,
this is actually where we're going off the rails.
Isn't the cortege like a funeral?
By the way, then come the men with a woman juggler swaying like a ballet dancer
Swaying
with
like a
9
ballet
rings
dancer?
rotating
What?
on her arms.
9 rings rotating on her arms and legs.
What?
The juggler is a beautiful woman. Duh. But on one side of her costume portrays a withering body in decay.
Wait, is this supposed to be hell or something?
Yeah.
This is a reference to hell from
The
Norse
whole thing is
mythology.
all-
No,
oh,
Von
no,
Lesser.
no. Oh no. Oh,
no,
no.
Von Lesser. We just suddenly we ended up in 40K and we're in a Harlequins show.
A small mongrel dog jumps onto the table and runs wildly around barking. A character who is a combination of Mick Jagger and Punch.
What?
What is happening?
Jagger and Punch?
Who the hell is Mick Jagger and Punch?
Mick Jagger is a rock star. And
Mick Jagger, okay.
And
right.
Punch is a
He's gonna come along, James.
Punch is a puppet. It's from the Harlequin tradition, but it's a puppet character. Punch and Judy. Basically, Punch and Judy are husband and wife, and they beat each other up, and that's very funny.
So let me show you a picture for the audience so that they can see.
Okay, there's Mick Jagger. Show us Punch too, so that they'll get an idea of that.
moves.
Punch puppet. No, put puppet.
No, it's probably not the Korean singer. She was born in
No.
93.
Search punch puppet. Search for that. Okay. There you are.
A combination of big.
No.
I think that's
The puppet
Oh.
looks like the puppet
Yeah.
looks fine. I'm not insulting the puppet when I'm laughing. I'm just laughing at the imagery that
Mick Jagger and Punch.
Mick Jagger in a Punch costume, I guess.
with that makeup, with the makeup as well.
Oh no, Kodak is dying.
Is that supposed to be Sauron? Is that meant to be Sauron?
Yes.
Yep.
Mick
Yes,
Jagger
it
punch-
is supposed to be
Is
so.
Help! It really does say
Bringer of
that.
destruction of all the races
He is
a puppy.
dressed in white, in a strange robe of pleats, whatever that is.
Pleated
Whenever the-
gown. Like there's like little sequins, I guess.
Wait, pleats. What exactly is pleats? It's like a skirt? Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
skirt, essentially.
Yeah, let me share an image. Like this is what he's talking about. Yeah, it looks weird. I have no idea what these people are smoking.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, yes, James. The I in the Jackson version does seem way less stupid now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is dressed in white in a strange robe of pleats. And whenever the pleats splay open, dark, garish colors burst forth. A harsh musical beat accompanies this character. He, Sauron, struts menacingly around the table. The
And
other
he
retreats in front of him.
Yes,
I am
Sauron.
Sauron, Lord of the One Ring. I covet the 3. I long for the 7. I lust for the 9. To find them, bring them, rule them, bind them.
So
The chorus
okay. If this was ever made, I want to see in a alternate reality the film where this got made into a film and Mick Jagger played this character.
Remember, he's just
Yeah.
like Punch. Remember, he's just like
That is a
remember
good question, Space Junk.
Remember, Mick Jagger is just like Punch, and everyone is retreating in front of him because he's strutting menacingly. So basically, we've got Mick Jagger dressed as a puppet, and you saw that picture, and the others are retreating from him, and he's strutting menacingly, and he's saying all this stuff, and he lusts for the 9, but we won't comment on that.
The chorus repeats a counter chant. Rings of power, rings of power. With one hand, Sauron bounces a transparent ball around which a golden band is wrapped. The dog barks at him, wanting to play. Perversely, he throws the ball among the legs of the actors, and the dog bolts after it, retrieving it, growling viciously at any hand or leg attempting to touch it.
By the way, we're now getting the backstory. 30.
We're getting the backstory half an hour in, and it's a goofy Warhammer parody with Mick Jagger and Punch.
And by
as
the way, you mentioned
Sauron.
Kabuki theater. So now I'm thinking the music is like the whole Kabuki theater music. Oh.
Oh, this is
Oh,
how
this is-
Amazon got their hands on Lord of the Rings. A play has begun. The stage is the table. The acting is stylized, emphatic, as in the Kabuki theater. The costumes are flamboyant and symbolize beings and entities of Middle-earth. The voices of the elves in the background function as a chorus. The outstanding characteristic of the play is the dog, forever playing and performing with the ball, the ring, and recognizing none of the players as his real master. The dog symbolizes fate and also the ring's own will. Frodo is increasingly fascinated and finally obsessed by what he sees and hears.
Wait, the dog symbolizes fate, is what you just said, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it symbolizes fate and the ring's will. Frodo is so that Sauron, always playing with the dog, struts up to the elven juggler, who in an act of bravura makes his 3 rings vanish. Meanwhile, Elrond is explaining.
So wait. They're about to just contradict the opening statement.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, this is their equivalent of like the prologue that we got in the Peter Jackson film.
Or in the Ralph Bakshi's version. Remember that it actually had like both the battle and Smeagol and Deagle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
By the way,
bad.
Like, yes, it was bad, but it was infinitely times better than this.
Oh
This-
yes, definitely.
this film is better than the books.
Yeah, like Voyage of the Dawn Treader was better than the book.
Oh, this
Is that
is way better than the
serious?
book.
Are you being
Okay.
serious on that?
This
No, I'm
is
not.
way better than Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader, the movie is ass. I really don't like that movie.
It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the first rings of power, the elven lords hid them from him, and his hands never sullied them. And so today we keep our knowledge and power.
Even though earlier in the script you mentioned how Sauron stole your secrets and
Yeah,
knowledge.
Yeah.
Did Stephen King write this? No.
No.
Oh no, but he maybe shared notes with this guy when he was writing it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're about to get into some weird stuff.
We haven't already, right?
Oh, this is mundane by comparison.
Yeah, we're like we still got the threesome scene.
Oh.
You are making that up, I hope.
Nope.
Oh. You know what? This reminds me of what Frodo likes to say. I feared it was so.
Yeah,
And then apparently,
By the way, this is what Rings of Power is going to look like, people.
yeah. It's gonna, I don't know if it's going to be this.
no, it's gonna be
bad.
more boring. It's gonna be more boring.
I think it's going to be worse. Like, this is just bizarre. I think
No,
that was going to be
no,
straight
it's
up
gonna
shit.
get, remember, we're getting into more worse territories.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're going to get some weird stuff in a few minutes.
At
Yeah.
this, applause breaks out in the audience, and for a moment, Elrond is touched with emotion. Sauron approaches
Sounds
the
a little
dwarf
excited.
juggler, who is fighting the dragon. The juggler becomes afraid and nervous. He drops his rings. Sauron laughs and picks them up.
7 rings of power, the dwarf kings possessed. 3 Sauron took, and the others the dragons consumed. The power of the dwarves faded. Why do we need to know that?
By
I
the
don't
way,
fucking know.
by the way, if you want to get into that scene, Cowboy, it's at page 50.
Where are we now? What page are we on now?
This is 36.
Oh, we might not get to it today.
Sauron struts up to the woman juggling the 9 rings and starts to dance lasciviously in front of her.
Oh,
Different rhythm, distracting her from her performance.
I love how like expansive his lexicon is, but he puts them in the most precarious positions possible.
Dude.
This is so freaking weird.
This was the first instance of sexy Sauron.
Oh yeah, Sauron's doing that. Whoa. I don't know if I should turn my cam on or not. Probably not.
No, Sauron does not dance lasciviously.
But it says right there that he does. You think you know better than the writers?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of does it take to enjoy this stuff? I have no idea. I've seen more complexity from a couch from IKEA.
Oh.
She becomes
Right
entranced
now, I'm
by
just
him.
pulling out a big rap battle of history quotes.
Yeah.
She becomes entranced by him. The rings fall to the floor, and Sauron picks them up, laughing triumphantly. And for each ring he picks up, one of the men goes into convulsions and emerges as a black rider. Frodo goes pale with fear as he is reminded of his terrifying encounter.
The 9 rings of power, which belonged to 2 mortal men, fell under the dominion of the One, and the 9 men who bore the rings fell under the dominion of Sauron, and they became the ring wraiths, his most terrible servants, the Black Riders.
Who are now dead?
Yes.
Well, they're gonna come back.
Yeah,
Of
they're
course.
going to come back.
No, they literally said
And then
in
die
the script
again.
that they're going to come back. Like Elrond said, we're going to come back in a new form. Now on the table are 2 groups facing each other, circling around ready for battle. On the one hand, Sauron, backed by his 9 That's not how the last alliance came to be.
Nope, that is not.
They were not present at that battle.
Look, I want to see now, okay?
And on the other, a group of elves and men. The 2 sides
Oh,
eye
yeah.
each other, ready to pounce. Sauron defiantly bounces the ball and makes the dog perform, and edges slowly towards the other group. From the
Imagine
men
trying to
and
film this
elves,
nonsense.
2 actors stand out. I am Elendil, king of ancient Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith, wasn't that founded after this?
No, it was originally called Minas Arnor. It was around this time, but here's the problem. Elendil is king of Arnor, the king of the Northern Kingdom. And he would have called himself king of Numenor because it was still called Numenor.
I am Gil-galad, High Lord of the Elves, not High King of the Elves, High Lord of the Elves. We have gathered a great force on the slopes of Mount Doom, Mountain of Fire, to stay the murderous hand of Sauron with the One Ring.
Why did they have to split that up?
Men and elven warriors attack the wraiths. That didn't happen. Well, Elendil and Gil-galad rush Sauron. Okay, so this is actually more faithful to the book than the Peter Jackson version.
Technically, yeah.
Elendil is pierced by Sauron's sword, but he throws himself at Sauron as Sauron turns towards Gil-galad. Sauron falls back onto Wait, what? Wait, Elendil throws himself at Sauron and Sauron falls back onto him, who under Sauron's weight crashes to the table and Elendil's sword snaps in half. So he fell on his own sword.
And this is all happening on the table.
Apparently, yes.
And this whole thing is happening on the table.
Where is Isildur?
Yeah, where's Isildur?
Don't forget.
Gil-galad dives onto Sauron, impaling himself on Sauron's sword. Sauron is
Wait, what?
No,
Don't
Gil-galad
forget.
was burned alive by Sauron, remember?
Yeah, pardon me. Don't forget that Sauron is Mick Jagger dressed up like Punch.
Seriously,
bull-
why would Gil-galad?
What were they thinking
gonna
with that?
They were clearly like dropping so much acid their brains had been rotted.
Yep, and it's the year 1970, so it could well
The
be.
ball rolls out of Sauron's hand and the dog picks it up. Sauron is pulled away by the fleeing wraiths and looks back agonized as the dog runs off with the ball, playing and yelping.
On agonized.
2 dancers undulate a length of blue cloth to represent a river. The dog goes under it, puts down the bowl, and goes to sleep. So you're telling me the ring just fell from Sauron's hand into the river? Really?
So basically the dog ran off with the ring and then it went to sleep.
Well, the dog is metaphorical.
Yeah, it's destiny and all that, but still, I mean, it's a dog. And how do they train the dog to do all this stuff? Is this played by an actual dog, or is this being played by a human being dressed as a dog?
I have no idea, and I don't want to know.
I think we do want to know. Because it's destiny. When you
Anyway, Elrond, go.
Okay. And the ring was lost. It fell into the great river and vanished. There, in the dark pools, the ring passed out of knowledge and legend, and the 3 elven rings were released from the dominion of the One, and peace reigned for many years.
The elven juggler steps onto the table, performing with great dexterity and grace. Sunbeams shining down refract ever-changing, shimmering light patterns through the 3 rings of glass.
Nice.
Meanwhile, under the undulating blue cloth, 2 creatures, a large fish in each of their mouths, roll across the table. The hand of one falls on the bowl at the side of the sleeping dog. A silent fight begins between them for wait, this is Smeagol and Deagle? How do they know that?
Actually, okay. In the books, I think they know some of the story because during
Gandalf.
Because Gandalf and so by the time of the council,
Gandalf and Aragorn had captured him. Is that what you're talking about?
Captured him, and they shipped him to Mirkwood. Legolas came to the council to tell him that Gollum escaped. So at this point, by this point, they know a story about how Gollum got the ring.
Basically, they stole all my rings, all my lines, and gave them to Elrond.
Pretty much, yeah.
Die, Elrond, die.
Then Tarzan-like,
What? Does it really say
Oh
that?
no!
rings onto the table. He is attired in a negative version of his previous costume.
Remember, he's dressed like Punch, right?
Yeah.
What
he's
does
just like
negative
Punch.
mean in this context? Like, how do you visualize that?
It's a negative version.
What's the colors of the color spectrum?
I guess.
It's like, okay, it's black now instead of white, I guess.
That's racist.
And he has blue clown makeup instead of red.
Yeah.
He compulsively moves his hand and arm as if he was playing with the bowl. He dances to a harsh beat. Here comes Sauron in another husk. In this new body of fate, I have stepped well beyond hate.
What?
At the same time, one of the creatures kills the other and makes off with the bowl and dog. Muttering,
Oh, and dog.
Gollum! Gollum! Bilbo, seated at the table, points excitedly. Gollum! He doesn't look like that.
Oh man, now I wish this
Oh,
scene
man.
existed so that we could have a clip online for he doesn't look like that.
So,
Oh, my God.
if Gandalf
Right,
doesn't
I'm going
say
to bed.
anything,
Bye.
I could make for that.
maybe
sorry,
I
I
can get
don't
someone
do
else's
that.
line. If Gandalf doesn't say anything, maybe I can get someone else's lines instead.
Yeah.
Sauron continues to dance and growl his song. He edges in on Gollum while whirling a bull roarer. Okay. The
Well,
bull
what?
roarer. What exactly is a bull roarer?
I don't think any of us want to know.
A bull roarer is the name of Pippin's ancestor, who's 4 foot tall and
It's
can ride
a-
a horse.
It's a musical instrument.
It's an Australian musical instrument, no less.
Ooh,
Also,
No, part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, but the bull roarer is also a character in this. Is also an ancestor of Pippin.
Yeah, he's the inventor of the game of golf.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bullroarer Took.
Yeah, but also they changed the lore. They basically said 2 wizards instead of 5, but
Yeah, we're just about to
film
get to that.
version, okay, you could probably get away with that because it's film. They don't want to go into details, but still.
They
Might as well
also-
just mention 5 elves and not.
like-
They also don't explicitly say how many wizards there are
Yeah.
they
If
also-
until the Hobbit.
yeah,
if Gandalf doesn't read anything, can I read something?
yeah, go for it.
I don't care. I'll read Elrond.
Okay.
Onto the table come 2 grand figures in wizard attire, one cloaked and concealed in a great white mantle, the other in grey, made up as Gandalf.
From over the seas, 2 great wizards appeared in Middle-earth in the guise of men, Saruman the White and Gandalf the Grey. They were messengers sent to contest the power of Sauron to unite all those who had the will to resist him, but they were forbidden to match his power with power or to seek to dominate elves or men by force or fear. And that's from the
The real
Hoo-Ha.
Gandalf looks uneasy.
That's from the Hoo-Ha's appendices.
Yeah, he tried to intimidate Bilbo at the very beginning, remember?
Oh
Mhm.
no! Oh, this is bad.
The white-
What?
The White Wizard begins stalking Sauron, and in doing so cannot avoid falling into imitations of his dancing, prancing strut. Man, this is fucking great.
What? 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 No, not even that. What comes next?
Gandalf pets the dog. I wonder what that's supposed to mean.
No comment.
Wags his tail, but always returns to play ball with Gollum. Sauron stalks Gollum, who retreats, horrified, to the edge of the table, nearly falling into the audience. The dog snarls at Sauron, as at everybody else.
Who even came up with this stuff?
Some
John
insane
Boorman, I
version,
guess. The elven juggler has a difficult time continuing his performance because of the confusion of actors on the rotating bull roarer. Sauron has nearly cornered Gollum, and Gandalf and Saruman are closing in on Sauron. The wizards collide into each other. Saruman throws open his cape and pulls his bony beard over his head.
What?
It looks like flowing blonde hair, and he behaves like a femme fatale.
What? Does it really say that? Does it actually say that? Does it actually say that? Is this real?
What have they done to my
Real?
boy?
Is this real?
Is this even happening? Is this some bizarre dream? I mean, what is going on here? What is happening here?
I am
Where are we? What is
What
this?
the hell is happening here?
All of a sudden, Saruman is either a transvestite or a woman.
Do we even exist?
I am so glad that we covered this.
What?
I've already covering the rest. This is like crazy town. Crazy.
What?
Crazy.
What? What? Is this supposed to be funny? I mean, is this really a parody? Is this
I
serious?
guess it is.
Is this,
I think
what?
this is supposed to be like so. I'm okay. I need to think of the writer. So he's trying to think. Okay, I need to get all this backstory stuff into my story because I wasted my a lot of my time of them with Frodo making fun of 2 guys who's hunting for hobbits and the adventures in the forest. And I don't want to cut those out. So you know what? I'm going to tell the story by doing a medieval style theatrical theater.
So
And then I'm
basically,
also including Gandalf stuff.
he's gonna do a vaudeville, basically.
Yeah.
Saruman grabs Gandalf and the two roll around the table.
Remember, he's a femme fatale too. No.
Ah, Gandalf.
Oh no!
Let's
What does
join
it? Look at
forces,
what it
old
says.
friend. We should wield the One Ring. While rolling on the floor in order to pin down Gandalf and seduce him.
What?
Oh no!
Gandalf glancing up at Sauron
Remember,
repeatedly
remember.
and mimicking his movements.
Oh, okay. So remember, Christopher Lee got permission to play Gandalf as soon as possible, like in the Lord of the Rings films. So you know he would jump at the opportunity at this. So just imagine him either as Gandalf or Saruman.
Oh yeah, you know he would. Don't trouble to say we, Saruman. Only one hand at a time can wield the one. Will please get off me? This is getting gross.
Saruman becomes helplessly caught in Sauron's dance, and Gandalf pries himself loose.
Thank God.
He who studied the enemy.
Oh wait, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
He who studies the enemy too closely becomes too close to the enemy. You don't say, really.
Oh really?
Sauron has nearly cornered Gollum when from behind, where Bilbo is seated, an actor made up as Bilbo, but much younger, steps onto the table, skipping across it, singing "The road goes ever on and on."
If this was a real film, at this point, Neff would be so annoyed by the song.
Neff will be screaming, "This is stupid."
The
Well-
ball falls accidentally into Bilbo's hand. Gollum goes for him. Bilbo, with a bland smile on his face,
A bland
turns and
smile.
holds out his two clenched fists, as if Gollum had to guess in which hand the ball is concealed. Gollum, dismayed, points at one hand. Bilbo pirouettes around once and holds out his hands again, which are now crossed one over the other. Bilbo opens the hand at which Gollum has pointed. It is empty. Bilbo skips away, playing with the bowl and the dog.
Did it say? Did
This,
you say
this is how
dog?
they present the riddle game from the Hobbit.
Why was this intercut with the Saruman stuff?
Sauron is after him, and so is Gollum, but Bilbo is oblivious. He just skips happily away. Then a hand trips him up. It is Gandalf. He is standing at the edge of the table. He catches Bilbo, pulling him off the table into his arms, and retreats. In retreating, he reveals the real Gandalf, who stands up to speak.
And so the ring abandoned Gollum only to be picked up by the most unlikely person imaginable. Bilbo of the Shire, my very dear friend.
And the enemy. Oh wait! I thought that
Yeah, sorry.
the count was Elrond. So
Am I?
yeah, you originally were saying like Elrond's lines previously.
I did, but then, okay, I guess I could. And the enemy is getting stronger.
Boromir leaps to his feet.
Stronger and stronger, Minas Tirith stands alone in arms against the mighty Sauron, pointing to the broken sword on the table.
Wait, there was no broken sword at the table before this.
Uh,
From the
Wait,
the Kabuki play. Okay.
Okay, so did they just keep Elendil's sword prop on the table all this time?
I
Yes.
guess so.
Jesus
Sure.
Christ.
Yes. Yes. It's a health hazard. It's a safety hazard. Let's go.
Yep. That was the sword that was broken and lost. For a dream spoke of such. If the sword of our ancestors was found, we would regain the glory of once.
the glory of what?
The
Glory of once.
Oh.
The ranger stands up proudly and draws the two halves of his sword. Here is the sword that was broken.
Boromir horrified.
What is this? Who's this that bears the sword of Elendil?
They
It's
stand
much like,
glaring at each other.
much like Judge Roro.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
This is the ranger who saved us from the Black Riders.
he didn't really save you.
Yeah, like the Black Riders are rather incompetent. I think the hobbits could have fared.
Aragorn was incompetent.
And we finally learned the ranger's name after all this time.
Yeah.
A lonely ranger, but he is also Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and he descends from Elendil. If we quarrel, the laughter of Sauron will be our only reward, and I fear that his evil eye is already upon this council. Upon is one word, by the way. Now, pardon me, I need to take more drugs. But Sauron lacks the one ring, pointing to Frodo. Oh, sorry. With that, his power will be complete. Can the ring be kept here in Rivendell? I don't know. I hope that was rhetorical.
Well, based on a previous behavior.
What about seduction? They're misinterpreting seduction, yes.
For the Saruman scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Sauron can torture the very hills. Pardon me, real. Sauron can torture the very hills and have not the strength to withstand the enemy when all else is overthrown. Could it not be hidden? Chance already plucked it once from the riverbed, and his creatures would search it out under the earth or at the bottom of the sea.
Gandalf is still speaking rhetorically.
That's going to be hard to pull off. I'll try. But can we not wheel it?
Okay. Why couldn't they just split up the lines amongst the other cast members?
Sorry.
Yeah, that would have been a great idea.
Yeah, I wish the film would have done that.
Yeah.
Maybe it had some actions, like showing one of the characters trying to destroy the ring, and it didn't work.
Or have some conflict, actually. Some actual conflict over what to do with the ring.
There's a teeny tiny bit with Boromir, but not much compared to the book or books or the show.
Or the movie.
Or the film, yeah, that's what I meant.
Films.
No, we cannot use the ring. The ring belongs to Sauron and is altogether evil. The very desire to wield it corrupts the heart.
Elrond pauses. Nobody speaks, overcome by the tale of the ring. Then a gentle voice speaks out.
We cannot keep it. We cannot hide it. We cannot wield it.
Oh crap, who's next?
Elrond.
Oh,
And
crap.
hushed.
Sorry.
It has to be hushed and sober, by the way.
I don't know if I can do sober in this script, but it can be destroyed, and there is only one way. It must be sent to the fire in which it was forged, to the fire of Mount Doom in the heart of Mordor, land of the enemy. Pardon me, I have to look a lot piercingly at the moment.
Elrond looked piercingly at the members of the council. Each one averts his eyes. Then Bilbo bursts out in a ridiculous voice. Very well, Master Elrond, say no more. I know who you're thinking of. Bilbo, the silly hobbit, started this affair, but he cannot finish. Frozen by the stern looks of Gandalf and Elrond, he shrivels in his seat. All eyes are downcast. Nobody dares speak. Frodo glances around the table. A thought seems to well up in him. Very quietly, words break from his lips.
I will take the ring, though I do not know the way. And then next scene,
they skip to the formation of the Fellowship?
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're gonna just do the Ralph Bakshi moment where we just talk about the Fellowship forming afterwards, but instead we're doing 2001 stuff where we're showing landscapes.
No, there's no there's no philosophical conflict involved with this scene at all. Like, it was just a bunch of exposition done horribly.
Like, the Ralph Bakshi version is not good in adapting the scene well. It does fail into similar trappings this version had, but at least it gave some conflict and it had more of an energy about it, and it didn't waste our time.
But what can be bad about Sauron looking like Mick Jagger dressed as Punch and dancing lasciviously, and Saruman being a femme fatale with a phony beard?
No, I think he took off the beard.
Yeah, exactly. Phony beard.
Yeah,
that
like he
takes
pulled
off.
the beard over his head so it looked like normal hair, I guess.
Yeah.
Why
Still,
didn't he
I mean,
just
the
like
point
have a,
still
have a
stands.
wig?
So I
The point
guess
still
we're doing
stands.
Exterior, landscapes of Middle-earth, day. A great open landscape of trees and hills. Against the sky, walking in line, are 9 figures of differing shapes and sizes. Superimposed across the scene is the face of Elrond, itself a landscape. Its beard flowing into the grass. Since when do elves have beards? Hair entwining
Tolkien
with
never
the
described it
trees.
with them being clean shaven. So
Yeah.
It gets complicated because there's a contradiction in Tolkien himself where Círdan has a beard, and then he tried to explain it later by saying that after 3 cycles of their life they can start growing beards, and he was the only one who was old enough to do that. But it was kind of a bad retcon, as I recall.
yeah, yeah. A lot of things about Tolkien is that he likes just continuing developing his world. So yeah,
It's
Pretty
strange.
much. And the Fellowship of the Ring wrong voice. And the Fellowship of the Ring shall include all peoples, hobbit, elf, dwarf, and man.
Another landscape. Open downs, waving grass. Aragorn and Boromir stride along side by side. Frodo, walking between them, has to break into a run from time to time to catch up. Boromir, seeing this, lifts him on his shoulder.
Okay,
Okay.
like a child. Okay. By the way, Legolas and Gimli has not talked, even though they're technically present.
Yeah, Legolas is gonna show, like, he's only name dropped on this page. This is the first we hear about him.
I just noticed something. Does Legolas exist?
No, he's
going,
just
he's
showing
going
up.
to come. He's going to come into existence on this page.
Oh, okay. This is a happy moment. Happy birthday, then.
Anyway, it's Elrond.
Your turn, Valerian.
Valerian.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Sorry. Ack. Am I still Elrond again? Okay, Baldur.
Yes, it's Elrond voiceover.
Oh God. For the man Aragorn shall guard the ring bearer. He is long in exile from his own land.
He was living in his own land. Arnor, what is his kingdom? Okay.
Yep, that's what it says. That's you're perfectly right. That's what he says. You think you know more about it than Elrond does, do you?
Yeah, it's and Elrond's worse because it's not like Elrond raised the bloodline or anything and raised Aragorn like his own son.
Yeah, that's also true. A ceaseless and lonely hunter from the servants of the enemy. Boromir too shall lend his mighty arm at least as far as Minas Tirith.
Now they walk through an oak forest. As the fellowship threads its way between the trunks, Legolas walks across the treetops, gliding from branch to branch.
Man, Legolas is more OP in this version than in the Peter Jackson version.
Tiptoe across the treetops. Won't you follow?
He is a lean figure with a keen, clear eye, clad in feathers and leaves with a silver bow and quiver across his back.
So, okay, now I'm getting
scans
imagery.
the sky.
I'm now get imagery that he has like a Native American-esque garb.
In feathers. Is he all dressed in feathers, though?
Yeah, it says clad in feathers and leaves.
Okay, so it could be American Indian, or it could be some African garb, or it could be...
I'm thinking American Indian. because
Yeah.
it matches the Force theme a bit better. But anyway, it's so silly. But
Yes. He scans the sky. Okay. For the elves, Legolas, the tree elf lord, for he can read grass and leaf, and will thread a safe path through all places where the roots are long, and the years lie thick on the leaves.
he's the son of the Elf King.
Yeah, he's the prince. He's not a lord.
Well, I guess Prince is a kind of a lord, sort
Well,
of.
Now they
Well,
move
kind
across
of.
rough, boulder-strewn country. Can you scroll up, down? I can't see the word. Great outcrops of rock are twisted and tortured into ominous shapes on all sides.
oh, thank you for your anti-dwarf propaganda.
Gimli, the dwarf, has taken up the lead next to Gandalf, and he stops and puts his ear to a rock and listens.
For the dwarves, Gimli, Lord of the Axe, his ear shall tell the rumors of the earth and guide the ring bearer through the dark places of the mountains. I need some more acid.
A soft valley with meadows and a stream. The four hobbits are in gay mood, cavorting and laughing. They run and tumble together in some childish game. The other members of the fellowship plod on somberly behind.
Blarin, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. For the hobbits, besides Frodo, his servant Sam shall go, for his loyalty and love. And Merry and Pippin shall travel for friendship's sakes and for the honor of the Shire.
Really? Is that the best I could come up with?
Yes. Like-
Gandalf turns his weary old face to watch the hobbits at play. He frowns.
And Gandalf the Grey, shall lead the fellowship, and his wisdom and wizardry shall aid the ring-bearer to his destiny.
Gandalf speaks to himself as he watches the hobbits.
And you need to scroll down.
Just scroll down.
Mhm.
Should we just go for 45 pages? We've been here for 3 hours.
Or, yeah, I'm going to have to go soon.
I wanted to go to 50. Just
And we'll start the next stream with a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. Little banger.
then we
I
need to
just-
get Count Balerion as soon as possible.
Yeah, you're a lot right ahead. What's his name?
No, I just found it. This video mentions the script, and he showed some pictures of it, and I was immediately of the crazier bits. Immediately after I saw it, I was like, "Okay, we need to read this."
There are pictures of this thing, like illustrations.
No, he took
not
screenshots
original.
of the
Of the script in a video.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God. Thank the merciful God. I believe now. I repent for my sins now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Gandalf. It is a madness to send this hobbit.
Thank
why
you.
would you send them there?
You're such an encouragement.
Elrond is basically Mufasa now.
Yeah, Elrond's face appears again, superimposed on the landscape. Its
What?
contours blending with the countryside.
Oh,
The hobbits
wow.
appear to be running and jumping across his cheeks,
What?
climbing over his nose, sliding down his chin.
What?
He answers Gandalf.
What is this description?
Is it madness to send this hobbit, Gandalf? No, but it was madness to write this script. Then folly must win where wisdom fails.
Oh,
Right. That's not what Gandalf would say.
Oh, scroll up a tiny bit.
Van
So that
Listra.
Chuck can read his.
Okay.
Gandalf
I can
looks
take
at-
over if you want.
No, it's fine. Gandalf looks away from the hobbits and his eyes turn inward. Elrond has faded from the landscape. They trudge on.
The play is written. We may prompt the players, Elrond, you and I. Nothing more.
Merry and Pippin have come up to Gandalf as he mumbles this. They are flushed, in high spirits. They exchange mischievous looks. Pippin glances up impertinently at Gandalf.
Are you talking to yourself, Master Gandalf?
Gandalf, taken by surprise, looks down at him.
In the company of fools, the wise man seeks counsel with himself.
Man! Oh!
He just referred to himself as wise. That's like telling. That's like if someone said, like, "Oh, I'm so humble." Like, but that's a mere contradiction of you referring to yourself as that.
Oh, that's about to get weird.
Oh,
Merry and Pippin laugh and skip on ahead to join Frodo and Sam.
Why would they be happy about that?
The hobbits are some way ahead of the others and come to a point where the rough road divides. They hesitate and look back at Gandalf for guidance, but something attracts Frodo's attention on the left-hand fork.
And our one shall be a light in their hearts to guide their way.
What?
Frodo points excitedly ahead. He sees a vision of Arwen in a white gossamer dress. She smiles and beckons him on. The hobbits run excitedly up the left-hand path, but as they come closer, Arwen fades and disappears. So this is like the ghost guide in the Lego Harry Potter games.
Also, keep in mind, Arwen is 13, or she's played by a 13-year-old actress.
Yes, I remember. Unfortunately.
Aragorn, Boromir, and Gandalf reach the crossroads and halt. Which is the safer path, Gandalf? Gandalf looks quizzical. He smiles mysteriously.
I suggest we follow the halflings.
Really?
Insult.
You can't even decide one. One split road is gonna stump you.
And also, follow the hobbits, you racist. Gandalf, you've been with these people.
Gandalf takes his own advice and walks on. Boromir makes a face that says he thinks Gandalf has lost his senses, which
he's not wrong.
Obviously, that follows.
Aragorn just shrugs.
Evening, a brooding landscape of rock shapes and clumps of trees. They walk through it. The hobbits are quiet now, a little frightened by the ominous surroundings. Merry clutches Gimli's arm and points at a lifelike shape of rock.
Could that be a troll?
Gimli shakes his head reassuringly.
I hear nothing but the night speech of plants and stones.
But you know what? He's kind of right. The whoever wrote this script is a troll.
Boromir overhears their exchange, and with a dramatic war cry, he draws his sword and leaps in the air. With comic, exaggerated gestures, he challenges the troll-like shape and pretends to slash and strike it. Then he clutches his stomach as though wounded and pirouettes crazily.
What?
An agonized parody of death. The hobbits laugh delightedly.
So the
Boromir falls.
hobbits are children.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, everyone
Boromir
is,
falls, leaves fall, water flows over rocks. Rain beats on the faces of the fellowship as they walk. Wind waves the wheat, wind blows the hobbits' hair over their faces. Meanwhile, Elrond's face and voice weaves in and out.
God help us.
Mufasa Elrond.
Good God. Scroll down so I can see what I'm saying.
The final page.
Yeah, let's finish this page and then we'll stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dying and living and growing and waning are caught in the struggle, for the many are part of the one, and not leaf nor pebble, nor fire nor water, nor earth nor air, nor LSD shall escape evil if the quest shall fail.
Roots of a tree fantastically entwined in rocks. The travelers are camped under it. A fire burns. They are spread out around it. Gimli and Legolas sit together looking at the roots and rocks. Frodo is tired, but he listens to them keenly. Okay, who's going to play Legolas?
I am.
Okay. There's the meeting place of dwarf and elf, tree and rock.
And you see how the roots, given time, will split the very stone.
Stone may crack, but the tree will perish.
Frodo tries hard to keep his eyes open. He glances at a gap in the trees, and there, to his surprise, is Bilbo working at his desk,
What?
surrounded by his books and little bed. Bilbo looks up and smiles at Frodo. Still trying to finish the book about my adventures, Frodo. How's time? Though time doesn't seem to pass in Rivendell, it just is.
You might have told us that when you were doing those bizarre plays involving Mick Jagger dressed like Punch.
Yeah,
It looks rather
it's
sad.
not like you had a good plot device with that book or anything, or the plot device involving Tolkien opening at the very start of the movie.
Or
He
God
looks
knows
rather
what.
sad and sniffs back a tear. He gets up and beckons to Frodo. Now, you're off on your own adventure. I want to give you this. He picks up a small sword and shows it to Frodo, who walks into the little study. The blade glitters, cold and bright. This is Sting. It's rather special. The dwarves gave it to me. You're introducing Sting now, after they've already left. Really?
Apparently. But we got the dog and the lascivious Sauron. And
Oh,
All right.
I think we'll stop there.
Oh man,
good.
I was not expecting it
This
to be
is
that
exhausting
bad.
to read.
This is so bad.
Good.
This is so fascinating how bad it gets. Like 46 minutes of a work that's supposed to cover 3 books, 3 big books, or in Tolkien's case, it was split into 6 individual books. Too, so no matter how you cut it, it's a crap ton of story into 3 hours. You would think that it would have a problem of just going by the story faster than a speeding bullet. No, it goes by at a snail's pace.
It's like it's rushing through all of the relevant stuff, and then it lingers for so long on stuff that you don't care about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like Frodo's surgery.
yeah, and here's the thing: it's like it's not like you can may do that if you trade it off by having like development of the characters.
But they don't.
But they don't. Like they don't give us
There's no internal struggle. There's no philosophical conflict. There's just external nonsense.
And there's even good dialogue between the characters. Like I don't even know them.
And even when
characters.
And even when they're discussing things that actually are relevant, they do it in the worst possible way. Like all the whole backstory is done in a burlesque. I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah, it's literally burlesque. Sauron's a transvestite, apparently.
And Sauron's not a transvestite, but he is lascivious.
This was our first instance of sexy Sauron.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I had this parody about Sauron's diary where he actually was kind of he did have a bit of satiriasis, but still.
Oh my god!
It wouldn't be like in lore. It's possible, just because he's like evil.
He was supposed to. He could take on a shape that was attractive.
Yeah, and also he's just evil and the way evil works in Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings, of course, did not focus much on like sex and stuff, which is why having sex scenes of any kind is like what?
Yeah. Also, when my satiriatic Sauron is meant to be a satire. It's not trying to be serious.
Yeah, nobody would ever make your parody into a live action feature like they were trying to do with this script.
No, you might make a cartoon out of it if you had the money and if someone rich enough, you know.
Yeah, or you do it South Park style, but this
This is really bad. We haven't even gotten to it. Shall I spoil what's going to happen in Lorien, or shall we wait?
No way.
and stuff. I will just say there's a scene where Boromir and Aragorn kiss Arwen's thighs. And
I know.
This is more disgusting now that he's like 13 years old.
She's
Yeah,
13.
yeah.
Did we forget she's 13?
Yeah, it says 13-year-old on the
Yeah,
screen.
she is 13 in this.
Why did they make her 13?
I have no idea.
Do I want to know why they made her 13?
I
No.
don't want to know. I could probably guess. But also, that's not even the worst. They also had Boromir and Aragorn kiss in that
Each other?
same scene. Yes.
I think I can hear Tolkien rolling over in his grave. Actually, he's coming out of his grave now. He's going out to hunt this Boorman chap. And
He's becoming a ring wraith. Yeah,
I mean-
it's
Yeah.
it's awful.
there's no way that what's his name is going to be as bad as this. Amazon thing is going to be as bad as
Oh.
Yeah,
I
like-
need to rage at something.
I
or
wouldn't be so
someone.
sure.
No way. It can't be that bad. At least
Like,
everyone's
here's the thing,
over
like-
age.
Like if you take off your pills of modern day media, there is. Oh, are you doing? Please, is this?
Arthur is an extremely dense book. It's the night they died in Batman v Superman. But Lemort to Arthur is an extremely dense book. How can its multiple stories be unlocked in 140 minutes? Has the movie aged well in the nearly 40 years since it came out? And will Boorman include some really awkward sex thing? Not very, sort of, and yes. This is Excalibur.
Very sort of, and yes.
What?
Yes, true on all accounts. That. Like, here's the thing. Like, Rings of Power, I'm just gonna assume it's bad. I am open it for being good, but it's not gonna be bad as most people are claiming to be. But it's still gonna be bad because it's gonna be a bad adaptation, and it's not.
It's not gonna have sex in it. I can say that much.
I'm really
Well, if they
actually.
do, it will be very different because there is hints. There is hints, at least in the Silmarillion, which of course you can't do that. They can't do it because rights. But there are hints that you can easily put in a bit of sex in it, but it's gonna be treated like a horror thing.
Yeah. Oh, just let's watch
Agree
this.
that it's really creepy to try to seduce a strange woman in front of her child.
Well, yes.
What?
And then they fuck right in front of Morgana. Just not even gonna send her to hang out with a maid for the next 2 minutes. But
Why
wait,
would you do that?
you get a softcore porno scene with a fully naked Igraine and an almost fully armored Uther. I don't think armor really
I'm getting a turn now.
terrible. And, a lot of sensitive parts there.
Why are you
What if
seeing
something got
this?
pinched? Plus, I don't imagine it feels good for Igraine.
The
if she
dancing
just
guts
throws back
makes
like weight
it
mail jamming into her
absolutely
crotch.
perfect.
No comment.
It gets worse.
What?
The woman playing Igraine, her name is Katrine Boorman. Yes, she is, in fact, the director's real-life daughter. He is filming
What?
her in a sex
What?
scene.
No.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What? 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 What?
Valerian is dead. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this Joel Boorman chap murdered me horribly.
Okay, I need to watch that video. It's been a while since I've seen a Crimson Rose review, but oh my goodness. And oh my goodness, that was supposed to be Uther and Grain?
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my goodness.
This is not a steamy hot moment in the story.
I can't even let me in.
Yeah, well, bring him in, but I'm gonna have to leave shortly.
Yeah, I think the plan is to close out now.
Yeah, and then next time.
Yeah, let's just end this.
Well, you guys could head out. I kind of want to see White's reaction.
Yeah, I can actually stick around for another hour.
I should probably go sleep. So
okay.
I'll be
Adios. Bye. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd better head out too.
Okay, it's not that
Okay.
bad because Gabriel Byrne, who played Uther, stated that the director
Thanks
wasn't
for
even in the
suffering
room
with
when
us,
this
guys.
particular scene was filmed, which was for the best. Can you imagine how mortifying it must be to perform like that in front of your dad?
No.
Sweetie, it doesn't really sound like you're having an orgasm. I need you to moan louder. So, the deed is done.
What's wrong?
I
What's
forgot how
wrong?
funny he can be.
Now that's a taboo if I ever saw it.
Yeah. That is sick and wrong.
People in Hollywood are weird.
Yep.
I understand why Neff calls them Howie Weird. Holy Weird.
Well, I'm amazed that we only got through 46 pages.
Oh yeah. But the problem is, it's again, there's just so much stuff that is just nonsensical.
Yeah.
And it's not even one of the things where you just harp sometimes EFAP does. When I was watching EFAP, they tend to go back to the same thing over and over because one guy couldn't get his point in, so they
have to go back.
It's not, yeah, they have to go back to the previous plot point, even though they kind of moved on. No, this one, it was the same. It was different every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the weirdest things I have ever had the chance of reading.
It's amazing of how bad it is. How bad a script is.
This is a unique form of bad.
Yeah, because it's not like he can't describe things well. There were instances where he was able to do so, and he had a quite expansive lexicon. It's just that his ideas are awful.
And the way they visualize is what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His creative decisions are disgusting.
Yeah.
Not only disgusting, but also what?
Yeah. We have a friend in the back room.
Hello, Mr. White.
Your mic. Hey.
Jesus Christ, the internet just took 20 years. That was just some retarded ass fucking shit I saw back there. And I'm lucky to get in now because I would have fucking raged if I wasn't able to get in. Just what the fuck is this shit? I'm watching this really terrible Lord of the Rings script and I'm like, this is fucking cringe. And now this guy's filming his own daughter having a sex scene and this What the
in
hell
another
is
film,
going
by
on?
the way, in another fantasy film about King Arthur, trying to
Oh,
adapt what
God.
they did Arthur.
Yay! More garbage. Thank you.
Yeah, that was garbage in the 80s, by the way. You know, that the mythical decade where everyone is saying that it was the best years in Hollywood.
They always say that, don't they?
Well, yeah,
Oh, this
even
is
people
the
nowadays who
hot-
complain about saying that modern day movies suck because it's not as good as 90s or 80s because of insert personal reason there. It's mostly personal. Like, if you look at it, in my opinion, objectively, yes, there is like different streaks of quality, right? There's a wavelength, but the quality of the current decade is basically the same as the previous decades on average.
Yeah,
It's just
the thing is that most films are just bad.
Yay, all media is just garbage. It was garbage in the 90s, and it's garbage now.
Well,
and
even in the
everything's been
80s,
ruined.
even the mythical 80s, it's just that you just have to do, if you really want to know what is the best movies in any given decade, wait the next decade.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Basically, you have to wait until time itself sifts it out.
So, Mr. White, what do you think? Think of the script.
Oh, I barely seen it. I was only able to watch it for like 5 minutes, and I had to bounce out because my fucking phone Wi-Fi died.
You missed 13-year-old Arwen.
Hooray!
Yeah. Yeah. And they spend like at least like a couple pages on Arwen digging a ringwraith lance out of Frodo's shoulder.
The end, and also not to mention all the landscape descriptions, like pages of worth of landscape descriptions.
Yeah,
and also characters just doing actions, like the Russian version of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, and Mary's fat.
Mary's back?
No, fat. Mary's fat.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's fat and all about eating.
Oh, fuck me. What the hell did I miss? I missed a lot, apparently.
Yeah, so, here's the funny thing. There was actually a fifth Hobbit in the original Lord of the Rings. He didn't join the Hobbits on, the main quest, but he was actually a major part of getting Frodo out of Shire. And guess what his name was?
What?
Fatty.
You're fucking kidding me.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what they called him, Fatty. And his job was so at this point, Frodo sold Baggin to the Sackville Bagginses, and he moved to Buckland and he bought a cottage there. And Fatty's job was simply disguise himself as Frodo, wait until Gandalf shows up at his house, and then deliver a message saying that Frodo went ahead. Because they wanted to keep up appearances so that, no writers go like, hey, Frodo's not here. Let's chase him.
Why did they sell fucking Bag End? That's ridiculous.
No, because as part of slowly getting out of the Shire.
Yeah, you should have just cut and run. I think that I like the movie decision better to just have him cut and run.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a much better decision, better urgency.
Yeah. Also, remember that scene in the Fellowship of the Ring where we see our first ring wraith that's about to is lurking around to see if Frodo's in the area, and it's a scene where Frodo and the other hobbits are underneath a tree trunk. It's extremely suspenseful. How this script depicts that scene it places emphasis on the bees and the butterflies in the area, and them sucking out the pollen.
Also, the ring rates were already in Shire by the time Bilbo left.
Yeah, by the time Bilbo left, the ring rates were already in
Also,
the
you missed
Shire.
transvestite Saruman.
Transvestite Saruman.
Yeah, so they decided to put all the backstory stuff and even the stuff that was going on while the hobbits would have taken their journey to Rivendell as a medieval theater play.
I don't.
Also, Sauron's like this orange punch like looking puppet
Mixed with Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger wearing a Elizabethan gesture outfit.
Painted faces, too.
Oh man, that's
the
a good thing I
conqueror,
missed it.
the potential conqueror of all of Middle Earth is a Jagger.
And he also
I don't even know what this Jagger looks like. Is it a person or a thing?
So let me actually show you. So Mick Jagger. Let's show you a picture of Mick Jagger so that you can understand why this is weird. This is Mick Jagger.
Okay.
And this is Punch.
And that's Sauron.
You're shitting me.
Yes, we're not. This is the description that was in the script.
This is Clown World. We live in
It was
Clown World
literally
now.
Clown World. Everyone was wearing masks. They even got a midget actor to play a kabuki version of a dwarf.
Yeah, White, if you look carefully, it says a character who is a combination of Mick Jagger and Punch. He is dressed in white and a strange row of pleats. Where the pleats spray open, dark garish colors burst forth. And then Sauron starts singing.
That is... I don't even have words for that.
Yeah. I am Sauron, Lord of the Ring. I covet the 3. I long for the 7. I lust for the 9. To find them, bring them, rule them, bind them.
Oh my god, that just obliterates oh, Jesus Christ. How can you... Is this like a gag script or something?
Also, back at the Bilbo's party, Gandalf was written like a serial killer.
Yeah. So unfortunately, White, no, this is not a gag script. This was an actual script that was written in 1970 and was going to be turned into a feature film.
Kill me.
Honored to be bought by Ralph Bakshi, who then wisely canned it.
Yep. So here's another weird thing. Yeah, apparently, like, there's then. So the elves, pursued by a ring juggler, deftly juggling 3 glass rings, then fell the dwarves, led by a midget juggler, who fares badly with 7 rings, harassed by a dragon.
Yeah, and then comes the men, which represented by a woman, who's raised like a belly dancer. Belly dancing, Lord of the Rings.
I have a hard time picturing this. This sounds just mental.
So the only cool thing, I will say this, the only thing that sounded cool, even though I know it's impractical, but something I would probably use because it's cool, was the idea that that the Sword of Elendil got split vertically, not horizontally. And so, and
I think it
basically
actually was vertical. I think it was horizontal. I think it was horizontal.
But basically, Aragorn used both of them like daggers.
Yeah. And then, here you go. Let's see. The White Wizard begins stalking Sauron. and doing so cannot avoid falling into imitations of his prancing, dancing strut. So can you imagine Christopher Lee prancing and dancing in a strut?
Yeah, because by the way, Christopher Lee was alive during this time and got a blessing by Tolkien himself. So he would either be playing Gandalf or Saruman.
Yeah. So Gandalf and Saruman are closing in on Sauron. The wizards collide with each other. Saruman throws open his cape and pulls his phony beard over his head. It looks like flowing blonde hair, and he behaves like a femme fatale.
Oh my god.
Saruman grabs Gandalf, and the two roll around the table.
What the fuck? Are they having gay sex or something?
It gets more interesting. Sauron seductively, Gandalf, let's join forces, old friend. We should wield the One Ring. While rolling on the floor in order to pin down Gandalf and seduce him, Saruman can't help glancing up at Sauron repeatedly.
No, please stop.
I like how we is underlined. Like, it's very important that we have to place emphasis on the we.
Yeah, and also during this scene, it's later revealed that the prop sword that got snapped in half of Elendil's is still on stage.
Yeah. We're about to get into some fun stuff.
Yeah, we basically crossed over the high point of the roller coaster. Now we're going into crazy.
Yep. We haven't gotten to shall I say it? Because it's bonkers. This is totally bug nuts.
You mentioned about Gimli learning about how to open a door
by dying and coming back, rebirthed in mud.
How the fuck does that work?
Look, the magic system in this story, it sucks, okay?
There's also shall I tell them about what happens in Lorien?
Oh, you mean when Frodo and Galadriel make out?
What?
Yes, Galadriel had an affair with a hobbit.
I am. Why?
And also, by the way, so Fellowship of the Ring content takes up 90 pages of this 178
I
page.
think that they actually do. I think they actually have sex. I
Oh,
don't think
God,
it's
please.
just a guess. I think they might have sex.
What the? What was this guy smoking like fucking meth or something?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Why he was smoking, and he was writing letters to his pen pal Stephen King.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's bug nuts. It is totally bug nuts. You even have a gay kiss between Aragorn and Boromir, and then they kiss 13-year-old Arwen's thighs.
You know, some of the dial. I wouldn't. Oh no, I wouldn't say that. That's too mean. Fuck it. It sounds like something Replica would write.
Ouch!
No, okay, not the whole love story shit, but like, they're just like the really just self-unaware dialogue and shit.
Well, I thought he would have a vocabulary this expansive, not gonna lie.
And also his punctuation would be worse, probably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, alrighty, boys. This has been fun.
Yay!
Yep.
The torture has ended for now.
Yeah, we're gonna pick.
When's the next one? Next date?
I think next Monday.
Alright, it's gonna be a weekly thing.
I'll probably be around 4 Eastern time.
Okay.
I get off around 2:30 my time, so that's like, and it takes 30 minutes to get back, so it's like 3:10 my time.
I get out of work around 3:30, and I get home around 4 to 4:30.
Okay.
Like for
Eastern
me,
Standard Time. So
yeah, Eastern
that's
Standard.
about 2. So that's about
Yeah.
2:30.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do 2 then. Start at 2:30ish.
Yep.
Okay, man.
Well, looks
This
like
is
I'm gonna
good.
miss half of it. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we've clued you in on some of the bad bits, like Galadriel and Frodo.
Like,
having sex.
we'll begin the thigh scene.
You know, it was a good thing I was able to join in and talk to you guys for a second before you guys bounced, because if I didn't, I swear to God, I would have put my rage into something else.
Oh
I
no.
probably would have had to go bully some people on Anomaly server or something.
Alrighty. We'll see you guys later. Adios.
All right,
Okay.
see ya.
Bye. Have a good night.
Ciao.